Venezuela's challenges aren't just the result of outside influence. He believes the country's future will depend more on its own political decisions.
Venezuela's 24 election was highly contested, and President Trump has called it rigged. Nicolas Maduro claimed victory, which sparked fallout, says Ray Lyman of Indie Telemundo.
He put in jail more than 2,500 people after the election, young guys. They are in jail today in a prison in Venezuela.
Under Venezuela's constitution, Executive Vice President Delcy Rodriguez would be next in line for presidency. Maduro and his wife were arrested in a U.S. military operation over the weekend. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Congressman Jim Baird framed the U.S. operation in Venezuela not only as a matter of military secrecy, but also as part of a broader geopolitical struggle.
I think you have to think about the people of Venezuela, but you also have to think about Americans. And this has been a base for transporting drugs, fentanyl.
Baer told Wish TV he's okay with the administration not briefing Congress first, saying that spilling the details could put troops on the ground in danger. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita filed a lawsuit against Eli Lilly and Company. He's accusing them of raising insulin prices for people with diabetes. With the season now over, Colts fans are weighing in on the team's direction. The front office says both head coach Shane Steichen and general manager Chris Ballard will be back next year.
We're not going to have a Peyton Manning ever. I mean, he's one of a kind, so we just kind of need to let that go.
I mean, it would be nice to see somebody consistent and not turn over every year.
And the Colts ended their season with a 38-30 loss to the Houston Texans yesterday. WIBC News Time is 3:04. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
When you have a fire emergency, you need a restoration company you can trust to put everything back together. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I know, I've relied on Michaelis after a fire at my home. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Richard, what makes Michaelis the right call if you have a fire?
Michaelis is local and family owned. We are your neighbors, 39 years of experience, and we'll respond 24/7, 365. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified. We will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I've lived it. Michaelis was on the scene at my home before the firefighters had even rolled up their hoses. They asked me about calling a restoration company. I told them I had Michaelis. They told me Michaelis was the real deal. You help with insurance too?
Yes, we'll work through the insurance process to give you peace of mind.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Traffic now at 3:05. Good afternoon, Mike Priest.
And good afternoon. We start with the standard issue stuff building up on 65 southbound, beginning to slow through the downtown collector from Washington to the South Split. Northbound, you have delays from Raymond to the South Split through the roadwork. On 70 eastbound, there's a stalled vehicle partially blocking the exit ramp at Kentucky Avenue. Westbound, reporting problem-free conditions and looking good at this point all around 465. Traffic is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help you find your dream bed from a quality selection. They make sleep easy. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast now from the American Standard Heating Weather Center. What do you have, Tara Hastings?
Partly cloudy conditions this afternoon. It'll be a bit breezy with highs close to 50, and areas of fog develop later tonight with lows dropping to 39. I'm Wish TV's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
At my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela.
Trump, ladies and gentlemen. That's your president of the United States talking about what happened in Venezuela over the weekend. And Hammer, my name is Nigel, by the way. Hammer's over there. Every lame news anchor said the same thing after Trump went in and snatched Maduro. It dropped a bunch of bombs on the Venezuelan military bases. Are you ready? Whoa, Trump really rang in the new year with a bang.
Hi-oh!
Operation Absolute Resolve went off without a hitch, Hammer.
And I heard in that press conference that Trump and Rubio and Secretary of War Hegseth did shortly after it happened, the youngest member of that elite group of badasses
you texted me about that.
was a 20-year-old.
20.
Now, again, there are younger folks in the military, but this was a specific elite group, Delta Force members, and to be the 20-year-old, what a badass, man.
I could barely get out of bed this morning after my week and a half long vacation with over the holidays. And this guy is going into Venezuela under the cover of night, dropping bombs on bases, and then going into the presidential palace and getting it was Maduro, his wife, and I think their son. And,
yes.
Dragging them out on narco-terrorism charges.
There are 5 different people that were charged with narco-terrorism, but the main targets were Nicolas Maduro and his wife.
President of Venezuela.
And they appeared in a court earlier today in Manhattan, pled not guilty to a number of very serious drug and weapons charges. Now, there's a couple different layers to this story, right? We'll get into, who's running Venezuela a little bit later, but Democrats are mad that the whole thing happened in general, Nige.
Is that right? You don't say. They're actually defending a narco-terrorist, corrupt, illegitimate president.
The No Kings people, for those of you scoring at home, the No Kings people are mad that an actual dictator was removed from power. And not just removed, there was a court-ordered situation where that made it okay.
Yeah, there was an indictment in 2020.
Yes. And multiple presidential administrations, Republican and Democrat, back to Republican, Trump, Biden, Trump, thought it was fine. Hell, the Biden administration, they put up $25 million for the reward for the capture. $25 million bucks. And the same people who protest no kings are now telling you free Maduro. Let that sink in just a little bit.
Unreal.
Now, I'm also getting a little worn out by all of these people saying, but Trump, he needed congressional approval. You need congressional approval for war. You don't need congressional approval to go get somebody who's been indicted. Hell, you just need Dog the Bounty Hunter, or in this case, the awesome elite team of Delta Force. Here's Marco Rubio laying out exactly why they did not need congressional approval.
This was not an action that required congressional approval. In fact, it couldn't require congressional approval because this was not an invasion. This is not an extended military operation. This is a very precise operation that involved a couple of hours of action. It was a very delicate operation, too. It was one that required all these conditions to be in place at the right time in the right place. You couldn't afford leaks. We couldn't afford anything out there that would have endangered the mission and gotten people killed or killed off the mission and the optionality. We didn't even know if the mission was going to happen. How can you notify something you're not even sure if it can happen? Because in order for it to happen, you needed to have weather conditions in place. He needed to be at the right place at the right time. We needed to have forces prepared to go. There were a lot of factors in place. It was a trigger-based operation. You can't risk it being disclosed. But this was not an attack on Venezuela. This was a law enforcement function to capture an indicted drug trafficker. And, of course, we needed the Department of War to support it.
A court of law indicted this guy and his wife, and the United States brought him to justice. So let's go to the hotline right now and bring on special guest, Carla Sands. She's the CEO of Vintage Capital, vice chair at America First Policy Institute, former U.S. ambassador to Denmark. Carla, before we get into the worldwide reaction and impact of what's going on here, and maybe even the financial impact, your reaction to the way the Democrats are treating this whole story.
I think they're just grabbing at whatever they can grab at because they're kind of circling the drain. It's really a shame because this is a great day for America, and it's a great day for our hemisphere. Because this was not, even though some people call him a president, he wasn't elected. He got 30% of the vote, lost the election, and kept power like a crazy-ass dictator. This is a bad guy. He was a narco-terrorist, or is a narco-terrorist, ran the cartel called the Cartel of the Suns. And he's actually, like you said, he was wanted with a bounty by Biden, by Trump, and now Trump went in and said, no more, not on my watch. Remember, he's been watching Venezuela as it becomes more and more under the control of Iran and Hezbollah. Believe it or not, Hezbollah is based in Venezuela and going all over South America. You would be shocked. And then it's also under the control of China and Russia. It's like has patronage with Russia. There's Russian military and agents there, as well as China. So we don't want to see bases of our adversaries in our hemisphere. President Trump is reasserting Monroe Doctrine. Some people call it the Donroe Doctrine. I like to think it's the new Trump Doctrine. Yeah.
Hey, Carla, not to mention on a more basic level, the Democrats were almost egging Trump on in his first term to go get Maduro. They talked trash about him, how he kind of just let it slide. And now I think they're singing a different tune, just like I off the top of my head, I saw, back-to-back quotes from Chuck Schumer, like from 2020 to 2025 or 2026. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
In the past, I mean, not today because the Democrats have lost their way. They're, a crazy party. In the past, they would really rally around the president no matter what party when something good happened for our country and our friends in Venezuela. Remember, a quarter of their population left the country because they're devastating the country. They just want opportunity in Venezuela, and we're going to help them do that. We're going to help them rebuild their country because it was a narco state, basically, a narco terror state. So now the economy is going to be rebuilt. Their energy companies are going to get going again the way they can. And President Trump is so good. He is such a deep thinker on foreign policy. This is a kind of almost checkmate against Russia and China. Russia, because it's going to make it harder for them to have war against Ukraine as Venezuela has more energy pumping because it's competition, the price will come down, but also China because China relies on Venezuelan energy. And China's been kind of playing a game with us with their chips, their rare earth elements, because we need them for not just our missiles and our defense equipment, we need them for our cell phones and our everyday life. We need the rare earth elements that China's been holding us hostage. And so this is another great tool in the toolbox as President Trump fights to get fair trade for the American working people.
Carla Sands is our guest, CEO of Vintage Capital, the vice chair at the America First Policy Institute, and former U.S. ambassador to Denmark. Carla, we got about a minute left here. I keep seeing a lot of people, jumping on social media saying, this is just about oil. This is just about oil. Let's have that conversation here. Is there going to be some sort of positive impact on the United States, you think, financially or with the oil in terms of the surplus when it comes to what's taken place with Maduro?
Well, so yes, fewer Americans will die because you saw those drug boats that they were interdicting, leaving Venezuela, and they were full of, many of them, cocaine and other drugs. So they've stopped that. You can look at the graph and see that we're losing fewer young people to deaths from drug deaths, overdose. Because of President Trump's actions, those deaths are going down. So he's saving American lives. But yes, if you looked at the stock markets this morning at the energy companies, they were going way up because of what President Trump is doing, because we refined that Venezuelan energy in our panhandle. We have the special refineries that handle this really thick, cruddy crude that they produce. Remember, there's more energy in Venezuela than any country in the world. So it's really important that China doesn't control it and Russia doesn't control it, or Iran, that the United States and our allies have control of that.
Carla Sands, CEO, Vintage Capital, Vice Chair at the America First Policy Institute, former U.S. Ambassador to Denmark. Carla, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate you.
Great to talk to you both.
All right, Matt Baer is out. We've got Mike Priest standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
And delays continue to build on 6570 through the downtown collector southbound, so from Washington to the South Split. You're on the brakes northbound from Raymond to the South Split, eastbound on 70. A stalled vehicle partially obstructing the exit ramp to West Street westbound is good. 465, no slow spots to note yet all around in either direction, and 69 is clear north and southbound. Traffic is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off, plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today, because at B Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Praise. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Again, so many different layers to this Maduro, Venezuela story. Like, I'm not in on
boots on the ground,
nation building or running their government. But if you're asking me, is it a good thing that a drug-pushing dictator who has been indicted in a United States court of law is no longer in power? Yes, I think that's a fantastic thing. I think both things can be true.
Absolutely.
49 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Oh, this is exciting. Hammer and Nigel show going on the road this Friday.
What?
A little IU football pregame party.
We're going to Atlanta?
We're not going to Atlanta.
Oh.
But you can join us here somewhere close. We'll tell you where next.
So, Hammer, I'm down 7 pounds after 2 months since hooking up with Premier Weight Loss. What about you?
16 pounds in 2 months. That's what I'm down from working with Premier Weight Loss Indy. And those 2 months, by the way, the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I still lost 16 pounds. These guys are the truth. These guys are legit. If you're serious about making yourself better this year, contact one of the Premier Weight Loss locations near you. There's one at 96th and Meridian. There's another one off of 106th and 69. Whichever one you go to, you're going to get personalized and customized treatment specifically for you and whatever your goal is. Everybody's different. Everybody's plan is different. And that's what I love about Premier Weight Loss Indy. PWLindy.com. It's going to change your life. I'm telling you, I'm living, walking proof of it. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Metal recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Hammer here from my friends at Technology Recyclers. Now, listen, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I had no idea that it was illegal to just throw away your old electronics. Not a big recycle guy. Say what you want. I had no idea, but it is. And this is where my friends at Technology Recyclers come in. So if you are a business, okay, if you've got a big office, if you work at a big place, call Technology Recyclers because they will come by. They will take your old electronics, your old phones, your old laptops, all that stuff, and they will make sure all of the data is destroyed. That's the key thing here, because when you get careless with your old electronics, your data becomes compromised. That's not the case with Technology Recyclers. So contact them today, tech-recyclers.com, or give them a call, 1-800-237-3887. It's an awesome veteran-owned company here in Indiana. These guys are total badasses. TechRecyclers.com. Get rid of that old data and your old electronics today.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah.
I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
We're coming to your city.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Happy New Year, everybody. I don't care that it's January 5th. I'm still wishing you a Happy New Year. I know that's against Larry David's rules. Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'm well aware. Hammer, you teased us with some breaking news. I don't think I even know about this coming up on Friday with our show.
So it turns out there's a pretty big football game this Friday.
You don't say.
The Indiana Hoosiers, the Oregon Ducks, the Final Four of college football, and we will have a little IU football pregame show at Coach's Tavern, downtown, home away from home for the Hammer and Nigel show.
That's where the Hammer and Nigel show all started.
It
just
is.
The basic, what do you call them? Beer cast or bar cast?
Barcast, yeah. It wasn't a broadcast. It was a barcast. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to be doing the whole show there this Friday.
Wow.
A little IU football pregame.
Come on.
So if you're a Hoosier fan, get your happy rear ends downtown Coach's Tavern. Our buddies Tom and Adam, they're big Hoosier guys. So they're going to have that place rocking and rolling, man.
So do I need to take a Uber to work on Friday?
You know, it's a new year. You're driving me.
Okay.
It's your turn. You're driving me.
That's fine.
I just signed my own death certificate, didn't I? No, man, come on down, hang out with us, bring everybody. We're going to have Beer Sample Friday, might do a drunken version of the IU fight song, and all the Oregon jokes you can handle. Those no good, rotten hippies from the Pacific Northwest. We're going to just rip on all those stinky folks.
Hippies.
So come on down.
Lots of man buns in Oregon.
Oh, man buns, douche facial hair. It's the worst. So we hope to see all of you this Friday. Get there early because people are going to be tailgating, camping out. Maybe we'll bring the celebrity beer bong. I don't know.
Ooh.
It's been a little bit. But no, this Friday, I can't wait, man. Coach's Tavern. Now, I've got an update on another big event we've got coming up, Nige. Our sold out Red, White, and Bowl presented by Jack Daniels. We're just like 2 weeks away.
A week from Friday.
Yeah, a week from this Friday, we're going to be up at Woodland Bowl, thanks to Jack Daniels, raising money for Hoosier veterans, Veterans the Bowling Link. And I've been told by our sales and promo department, since IU's in the Final Four, they were able to get 4 more tickets to sell. So go to WIBC.com.
You got to hurry.
Go to the events, just 4 tickets left. This thing's been sold out for like almost 2 weeks now. But if you want to go, you got to buy your tickets right now. As of 3 o'clock today, there were just 4 left. I don't know if there are any left now, but get your tickets at WIBC.com. Now, if it is sold out, because again, there's just 4 left, you can go to the contest page at WIBC.com.
Okay.
We're giving away a pair. Just register to win. You can show up and be part of the pizza buffet, the drink tickets, the prize giveaways, the bowling, the shenanigans. I think the shenanigans are my favorite part.
Lots of shenanigans with Jack Daniels. And,
that's right.
You know, there's never not a shenanigan when Jack Daniels is involved.
And listen, if you're one of these people doing dry January, this may not be for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're not one of these morons, are you?
I haven't drank since Christmas time because I was sick all last week. Like, not bedridden sick, but I couldn't. I had like and I didn't have a temperature. It was weird. I just had like my body aches and chills and stuff like that.
It's going around, man.
So I had something and it didn't knock me on my butt. I was still able to function. Like, I wasn't deathbed sick, but I didn't have an appetite and I just haven't drank since then.
But if you felt better, you'd be boozing like good old-fashioned gambling man Nige, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see how I feel Friday. Let's shoot for then.
You can't be mean enough to these sanctimonious losers that are like, I'm doing dry January. Oh, bite me. I'm doing the wettest January imaginable. I'm doing a bender till December. That's what I'm doing.
Bender. Yeah. Hey-o.
Bender till December.
I'm doing dry-ish January if I start feeling better.
That ish gets you into trouble.
Whatever.
That ish is why you had to have Rob Kendall drive you home from our bowling event last year. The ish. You know who is not doing dry January?
Oh, you?
AI Mayor Boss Hogsett.
No.
To the point to where he put a little poem together. Nige, would you like to hear it?
Please.
Here's a quick poem I wrote about dry January. Dry January is only for gentlemen who sit to pee. And it just means more booze. For people like me, allegedly. AI Hogsett. Out.
Hey!
Bravo!
First time I've ever agreed with old Diamond Joe there. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Lawmakers are now questioning the legality of the U.S. military operation. Cloudy and 50 at our Radio 1 studios. I'm Jake McDaniel, and here's what's trending at 3:31. That captured deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
Most Democrats contend that the operation demands a blessing from Congress. The administration did not brief congressional leaders ahead of time. Democrats say the president is not putting America first with military action abroad. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer accused the president of trying to distract from the economy and exploding health care premiums. But Republicans say Democrats are playing politics. Here's who will brief bipartisan lawmakers today. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Attorney General Pam Bondi.
That's Fox's Chad Pergram. Maduro and his wife were captured in Caracas on Saturday Tuesday and flown to New York to face federal drug trafficking charges. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is dropping his re-election bid, saying he'd rather spend his time fighting the state's child care fraud scandal than defending his own political interests. The Democrat insists he's cracking down on the fraud and maintains that he would have won if he had stayed in the race. It's warming up this week in Indiana. John Herrick reports.
Temperatures will be in the 50-degree range all week long. Here's the warning, though, from Matt Eckhoff. He's a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
Enjoy it while you have it, because it's going to be cooling down again this weekend, and we'll be back to, typical Indiana winter.
He says it will be the warmest in southern Indiana in the meantime before it drops into the 30s by this weekend. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to fill up your gas tank, the average gas price in Indiana today is $2.75 a gallon, says AAA. And 12 losses in a row for the 6-30 Indiana Pacers after losing to the Magic 135-127 last night. Next, they have the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow evening. The game tips off at 7. News time, 3:33. You've got traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it. And the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Traffic now on 93 WIBC with Mike Priest.
Inching our way into rush mode, northbound on 65, slow from Raymond to the South Split. Southbound with heavier delays through the downtown collector from Michigan to the South Split. Also seeing traffic getting sluggish east on 70 from West Street to the South Split. And around 465 on the east side, southbound traffic is crowding past 70 to Brookville Road. Traffic is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today, because at B Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Areas of fog develop later tonight. We'll see lows fall to 39, and we could see some patchy fog early on your Tuesday morning, some light mist or drizzle with highs near 53. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Rilford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
Yay! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there, also live in studio with this guy, Rilford. The Gun Guy, 2A attorney, licensed firearms instructor. Guy, Happy New Year. How are you?
Always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest. And P.A. Jewelers, located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
I know we have a lot to get into. Let's get right into it. This is a total Gun Guy story. This stray bullet that fell from the sky, injuring someone New Year's Day here in Indiana. Was that in Muncie?
No, it was here on the southwest side.
Southwest side,
yeah. The near
I swear, I heard it. I swear to God, I heard all these morons firing gunshots.
No.
Because you know me, I'm a fireworks guy. I know the difference between fireworks and gunshots.
Yeah,
right?
It's on the near southwest side, I think right off Kentucky Avenue is what I saw. But yeah, I mean, and listen, I try to say every year, you guys have had me mention it on your show, like, don't be a knucklehead and go out and shoot guns in the air and not think you're endangering someone. First of all, you're very likely to get prosecuted for a crime. It's called criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, which is a level 6
You
felony.
should be prosecuted, but it's Marion County, so you might get a sticker and a reward. I don't know.
But then also, you could hurt someone, and someone was seriously hurt on the near southwest side by a bullet coming down, reportedly out of nowhere, falling from the sky is the quote that I saw.
You mean if you shoot a bullet up in the air, it comes down?
It does.
Huh,
And
imagine that.
by the way, I had a person who did not hire me, so it was not a client, but a person who had a consultation with me one time, and he'd been charged with criminal recklessness for going out at New Year's and shooting bullets off his back porch up into the air. And I'm explaining to him, well, the theory here is that you endangered other people. And if you endanger other people and you do so with a deadly weapon, that's criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. And the guy looked at me like I was the biggest dummy he'd ever met in his life. And he goes, no, that doesn't endanger anyone. He goes, those bullets burn up on reentry.
Oh, so they go out of the atmosphere. That's a powerful piece that he's got there, guy.
Yeah.
He could shoot the moon if he wants to.
And I said, no, brother, that's not quite how that works.
So
They don't achieve orbit and then come back down through the atmosphere.
The bullet, it hit somebody, right?
Yeah, and hurt someone. And listen, let's talk about the science of this a little bit, because this is confusing to some people. Part of it is it deals with what we call terminal velocity, which was not only a pretty cool, I think, Patrick Swayze movie, if I remember correctly, but terminal velocity has to do with an object that is propelled, upward. In this case, a bullet fired upward. It goes up a certain distance, propelled by the energy of the gunpowder burning behind it. It goes up a certain distance, depending on caliber and barrel length and any number of other factors. And then it stops, and then it turns around and begins to come back down. As it's coming back down, it's the force of gravity, obviously, acting on that bullet that's pulling it down. It meets drag. Drag is the resistance of the air as it's coming down through the air. And at some point, the pull of gravity, as it accelerates, meets the amount of drag that bullet is experiencing. They equal each other out, and it stops accelerating at that point, which that's its terminal velocity. It won't fall any faster after it reaches its terminal velocity, which is the amount of drag equals the gravitational pull. So depending on a number of factors, the weight of the bullet, the shape of the bullet, some are more aerodynamic than others. Some have more of a pointy tip than others. But the aerodynamic configuration of the bullet, the weight of the bullet, the configuration generally will influence this. But can they fall back down fast enough to kill someone or hurt someone? And the answer to that is yes. Now, if it's fired straight up, then terminal velocity becomes more of an issue. If it's fired more at an angle, let's say you're only firing it off at a 45-degree angle as opposed to a 90-degree angle, can that bullet come down fast enough to hurt or kill someone? Absolutely, of about any caliber you can imagine.
What are the chances, though? I mean,
Didn't that happen in Gary, though, not that long ago? Like, I want to say within the last, 10 years, there was a kid that was outside playing basketball, and a stray bullet came out of the sky and killed him.
Killed him. And so that can absolutely happen. And especially when you're not necessarily going straight up. If you're shooting at more of an angle, that's going to come down much, much, much faster and definitely potentially kill someone. So it's just a stupid idea. You guys try to warn people every year. IMPD tries to, I do, but we still have knuckleheads that go do it. And we saw, obviously, an example here over New Year's.
By the way, before we move forward here, Hammer, I just never get a chance to correct the smartest guy in the room. Terminal Velocity, starring Charlie Sheen, if you remember, as the skydiver. He's the skydiver who hooks up with the KGB agent and not Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze wasn't in that. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I need to go back to my...
Now, ask me anything you want about the Constitution. And I'll probably get it wrong.
Yeah, well, I have to go back to my cheesy...
90s.
My cheesy 90s movies, but okay, all right. I got you. I stand corrected.
The last thing about this story about the numbnuts that fired his gun in the air, which I hope he gets prosecuted. I really do. Yeah. But this is something that makes responsible gun owners look bad, because we get lumped in this category, and then you've got the Russ McQuades of the world that report on these crazy gun nuts firing their guns in the air. I've had training. You've trained me on firearms, Guy. My family has. We're super responsible, but we get lumped into the category of morons like this guy.
Well, that and it influences legislation as well. I'll guarantee you, the Russ McQuades of the world would love to go out there and say, well, this person was probably outside carrying under constitutional carry. And if it wasn't for constitutional
carry... Isn't it ridiculous he would love that?
Yeah, he wouldn't have shot this gun in the air and therefore wouldn't have hurt someone down off Kentucky Avenue. So, yeah, we have to deal with this at the State House. Every time somebody does something knuckleheaded with a gun, somebody decides that we probably need to change the law. And so that's why I'm always going to be pretty harsh on knuckleheaded gun owners, exactly to your point.
Guy Relford with us. It's Monday Gunday here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Guy, you joined me right before the end of last year, and we talked about how the crime trends were promising, right?
Yes.
Homicides were down, violent crimes were down, but at the same time, justifiable homicides were up.
Right.
And again, these same, anti-gun media members, for whatever reason, have a problem with law-abiding citizens protecting themselves.
Yeah, and listen, we haven't seen the final numbers yet from 2025, but it looks like nationally and here in Marion County, homicides, both of those, may be down as much as 20% over previous years. Nationally, we may be at the lowest number in perhaps 30 years on homicides as a per capita statistic. And that's big news. That's a big deal. At the same time, we have more gun owners. We set records pretty much every month for gun sales. We have more and more states. We're up to 29 states now. If North Carolina can do the right thing, we'll be at 30 of constitutional carry states where you can carry a handgun without a license. We have more gun owners, more people lawfully carrying than ever before, and that's why more justified homicides are up. Why? Because the good guys are able to defend themselves against the bad guys.
And the numbers have dropped, at least here in Indiana. I believe in most places around the country. You would probably know better than I would.
Yeah.
But states that have constitutional carry or permitless carry, you've seen a dip in homicides ever since that law was passed.
It happens year after year in state after state. And that's why it so clearly justifies itself to go forward with these things. At the same time, what did we hear when we were fighting over constitutional carry in 2022? There'll be blood in the streets. Well, the idea is not good guys. You know what? Not good guys getting shot. But it's two things. One, good guys are better able to defend themselves against bad guys. That's why justified homicides are up. At the same time, it's also a deterrent. Because if you're a bad guy,
yes,
let's say you want to go out, you're a street criminal, you want to go out and mug people, or you want to rape people, or whatever violent crime, you want to go out and perpetuate on the streets of Indianapolis or anywhere else. And all of a sudden now you have to think to yourself, there are a lot more people carrying guns now. Those easy victims. Yes, that could be a 90-pound female walking by herself down Mass Ave at 3 a.m. But you know what? She may be packing.
Right.
And if she's packing, maybe it's not a good night to be a bad guy.
No.
And I love that idea. I love the deterrent factor of it. The bad guys have to think twice because there are more and more good guys and more good gals out there carrying guns.
And I love that they're getting trained too. Are you seeing an uptick in training requests? Because I think that's an important part of getting the weapon, getting the training.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And listen, I'm not doing near as much. I don't do the classroom stuff anymore. I used to have a class of 20 people every other weekend. And I just don't have the time with the law practice anymore. I just don't have the time to do that. But I'm just doing private training, and those requests are way up. And a lot of people are disappointed. They contact me and hey, I want to put myself or my wife or my daughter, son through a introductory pistol class, and I'm sending them to great places like Indy Arms and others where they offer those group training. But yeah, they're just definitely on the rise because thankfully. More and more people that are buying guns, well, good. More and more people realize the need that they also need to be trained as well. Exactly, again, to your point.
Come back for one more segment?
Always, you betcha.
All right, I want to talk to lawyer Guy Relford next. And whether or not all of these folks jumping on social media saying Trump had to get congressional authority to do what he did to Maduro.
Unconstitutional!
Right. I want to talk to a guy that knows a thing or two about the Constitution. I want to talk to a lawyer, and we'll do that next.
You betcha.
Hey, what's up? It's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel Show. Listen, this is the reality in January. You got a bunch of stuff left over from the holidays, and you're probably wondering, what do I do with the stuff I don't need anymore? I want to get rid of it, but the weather's cold. I don't have the time. This is where Rubbish Works comes in. Rubbish Works. They will show up. They will bring the dumpster. You point at what you want gone. They do all the work. January is like a reset month, and clean that house right now with Rubbish Works. Start the year with a clean, organized home, full service junk removal. It doesn't matter if it's a couch, boxes, even garage clutter, appliances, you name it, they take care of it. They do all the work. Use the promo code HAMMER to get $25 off your next clean out with Rubbish Works. Call 317-207-2749 or go to rubbishworks.com. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel Show sent you.
Gain insight on how to prepare for a secure retirement.
In our younger years, we want as much growth and accumulation as we can muster.
Take advantage of a free discovery call, 877-524-2677, 877-524-2677.
It's important for you to understand what that's going to look like later on.
And tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show with Will Gonzalez, Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
The Pacers have a full schedule of games in January and some great matchups.
Jackson attacking in on the left side with a left-hand scoop, and he's on the line with a chance for a three-point play.
Catch the Pacers and Cavs in a Central Division showdown Tuesday at 7.
High middle screen Huff, back to Huff from Nembhard. 4 seconds to shoot, 3 seconds to shoot. Nembhard way out on the left edge, beat the clock and hit a three.
Get your tickets at Pacers.com/tickets. Pacers Cavs, Tuesday at 7.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 60% off plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest.
Because at B-Window,
We mean business. We mean business.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest. Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 60% off plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest.
Because at B-Window,
We mean business. We mean business.
KC and the Sunshine Band, live at Old National Center, January 23rd at 7:30 p.m. It's the ultimate throwback party. Get your tickets today at WIBC.com.
All right, Matt Baer is out. Mike Priest is in. What's going on, man?
We have a crash in Plainfield. That is on Perry Road at Main Street. Also a crash in Beech Grove on Troy Avenue west of Keystone. Heavy southbound on the downtown collector from Michigan to the South Split. So north on 65 Raymond to the South Split. 70 backed up eastbound starting at West Street and on the east side of 465. Sluggish southbound past 70 to Brookville Road. Traffic is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today because at B Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Monday Gunday with Guy Relford here. And Guy, I think this falls into the purview of your expertise. There were guns involved when the United States took Maduro and his wife on that helicopter and brought them to justice. And so many people were going to social media saying, Trump's got to get congressional authority. All of a sudden, everybody's a constitutional expert on social media. I'll defer to a guy that has read it a time or two and is a lawyer here. What do you think?
Well, I actually posted yesterday on my Facebook, and on my X or Twitter, a bit of the discussion of the constitutional authority for Trump to do what he did. And listen, there's no question that Article 1 of the Constitution says very clearly that Congress has exclusive authority, exclusive power to declare war, right? I mean, there's no debate about that. At the same time, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 says that the president is commander-in-chief of the military, and as part of that has been always interpreted to mean he can deploy troops, he can take actions involving the military for the national security. And so those two things bump up against each other when the question becomes, can the president send U.S. military to engage in hostile activities in a foreign land without congressional authority? And listen, since the time of Thomas Jefferson, because in a great comment to my post on Facebook, Christy Stutzman, former representative, and I loved this comment. It was so smart. I wish I'd included it in my original post. She said, well, I think Thomas Jefferson knows something about the Constitution, having, written a big part of it.
You think?
He had a little role in it, yeah, a little bit.
And he sent the very first deployment of Marines to Tripoli to combat the pirates during his presidency without prior congressional approval. Yes, once that conflict was extended beyond that, he went back and said, look, looks like we may actually have a war here, and then asked for authority. But in terms of the initial deployment and the initial use of force in a foreign land, Thomas Jefferson, without congressional approval beforehand, sent the Marines. And since then, what have we seen? You go all the way back to JFK and the Bay of Pigs and the Vietnam War. Were those good ideas, by the way? That's not the question we're discussing here. The Bay of Pigs was a good idea? No, of course. It was a horrible idea. But Democrat president, Republican president, one after the other for years and years, for generations, have interpreted the Constitution to say, yes, short of a war, right, we can deploy troops for the national security. Did anybody complain when Obama essentially invaded Libya and Muammar Gaddafi got killed? No. Or when Obama sent SEAL Team 6 to kill Osama bin Laden? No. And those were same things we're talking about here. So presidents of both parties have done it for years, for generations, right. And there's authority in Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1, as commander-in-chief, the president can do exactly that, short of actually involving the U.S. in a war.
Where can we find you?
At Guy Relford on Twitter or X is the best way to find me, at Guy Relford.
Guy, you're the best.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Top stories next.
Picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesandschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
The Pacers have a full schedule.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. $9,000 off a new Lincoln Corsair, $9,000 off a new Lincoln Nautilus, or $9,000 off a new Lincoln Aviator. Your choice of any of these great luxury cars, $9,000 off. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Corsair stock number L25277, MSRP 5220. Nautilus stock number L25270, MSRP 57235. Aviator stock number L25246, MSRP 65165. See dealer for complete offer details.
Pat Sullivan here. Fire emergency? I've had one. If you do, call Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis explains why.
Michaelis is local and family owned. 39 years of experience with 24/7, 365 response. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified, restoring your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
And Michaelis helps you through the insurance process, giving you peace of mind. Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Here are just a few hot buys going on in January. Lift chairs starting at $5.99. Lazy Boy recliners starting at $4.99. Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses, $71 per month. Smith Brothers sofas, $18.99. Up to 25% off all outdoor furniture. Reclining sofas starting at $6.99. Sale ends Monday. Free delivery. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
He's back in a cell. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro remains in U.S. custody after he and his wife pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking and weapons charges during their first U.S. court appearance in New York City.
And there were some interesting moments inside the courtroom. Maduro said, quote, "I'm innocent. I'm not guilty. I'm a decent man. I'm still president of my country." Prosecutors say Maduro and his wife partnered with narco-terrorists like the Sinaloa cartel and the Tren de Aragua gang to traffic thousands of tons of cocaine into the United States.
Fox's Nate Foy at Manhattan Federal Court. Some Democrats in Congress say the U.S. military operation capturing Maduro over the weekend was illegal under international law. But U.S. Ambassador Michael Waltz tells the UN Security Council
Nicolas Maduro is responsible for attacks on the people of the United States, for destabilizing the Western Hemisphere,
calling the Maduro capture a law enforcement operation. Federal health officials are lowering the number of vaccines they recommend for children in the U.S., with measles and mumps shots among those kids will still be urged to get, while others, including hepatitis A and B, will be left up to families and their doctors.
In December, President Trump directed HHS to review U.S. vaccine schedules in comparison to peer nations. Health officials say reducing the recommended shots to only what it says are most important will increase trust in public health oversight. Opponents argue the reductions without discussion are a greater risk for contracting childhood diseases.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The administration also says changing the federal vaccine schedule will not strip vaccine access or insurance coverage from families. New highs on Wall Street. But the Dow finishes off session highs. The Dow up 595 points at the bell, topping 49K during the session. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Warmer than usual all across Indiana. Partly cloudy and 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
Southerly winds today should bring a nice warm up. We're looking at highs close to 50 today, in the mid-50s potentially tomorrow and Wednesday, and then maybe even touching 60 by Thursday.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says southern Indiana is supposed to get the warmest temperatures, but then they cool back down into the 30s by the weekend with some light snow possible. Nicolas Maduro, who held power in Venezuela for decades, is now under arrest, a development many in the country see as a turning point. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
Ray Lineman of Indy Telemundo says back in the day when he was a young reporter in Venezuela, he used to ride the bus to work, and that driver was Nicolas Maduro. Lineman says Maduro's path eventually shifted in a very different direction.
Being a bad guy, being a narco dealer, being a man who destroy a generation of Venezuelans.
Lyman says Maduro's arrest has put Venezuela on a different path.
We don't see police on the street. We see just people who is scared about the present.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana conservation officers are looking into a man who was shot by a crossbow Saturday on the property of Mississinua Lake. When Grant County officers got to a Dollar General, they found the man with his left thigh badly hurt. He was packing when his crossbow got caught in a brush, which shot him, and he was later released from the hospital after being taken there. You're paying an average of $2.75 a gallon of gas today, says Gas Buddy. That's up 9 cents from last week. And if you're going to the Peach Bowl on Friday, new flights were added to the Indy airport like America Delta Airlines. And Indiana and Oregon will play each other in Atlanta. The kickoff is set for 7:30 in the evening. You've got traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute. It's 4:04.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
You've got WIBC traffic at 4:05 with Mike Priest.
Starting to the east with reports of a crash on Brookville Road west of Franklin Road. On the south side of 465, there is a reported vehicle fire in the eastbound lanes near Bluff Road. Police and emergency units are on the way. 65 with heavy southbound delays through the downtown collector from Michigan to the South Split. Northbound backups approaching the South Split have eased off, at least for the moment. And 69 pretty decent in both directions. Traffic is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your destination for nonstop entertainment. No purchase necessary. VGW Group void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 21+. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Areas of fog develop later tonight. We'll see lows fall to 39, and we could see some patchy fog early on your Tuesday morning, some light mist or drizzle with highs near 53. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
Yeah, Hammer, when Trump said that at the press conference after we woke up to the news that the administration went into Venezuela, snatched Maduro, the president, and his wife, a couple other people, on narco-terrorism charges that were, levied in 2020 here in the Southern District up in New York. When he said that, running Venezuela, my head went down just a little bit like this. It's like, ugh, oh, wow. What did he just say? We're going to run Venezuela now?
You weren't the only one. Did you see Marco Rubio's reaction in the back?
Yeah.
Kind of was like, ooh, I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
Running it. In that same press conference, Trump said he's not afraid of the term boots on the ground. Now, what did I text you when we woke up to the news that morning before that press conference? Right? What did we talk about via text when we woke up to the news that was happening?
No nation building, no boots on the ground.
Well, and they would argue that this isn't going to be quote unquote nation building. And I've heard, Marco Rubio going around just schooling, talk show after talk show hosts over the weekend, talking about that,
And Rubio, again, the most valuable member of the Trump administration so far in his second run as president.
It's a star.
Star. Like, I love Tom Homan. You can make a case for Tom Homan for being absolutely just a badass at what he does. But Rubio has been fantastic. And Secretary of State kind of walking back that Trump statement of, we're going to be running Venezuela. Paraphrasing, of course, jumping on CBS and said that the U.S. is going to be putting in policy for the new administration of Venezuela to run.
It's running policy. The policy with regards to this. We want Venezuela to move in a certain direction because not only do we think it's good for the people of Venezuela, it's in our national interest. It either touches on something that's a threat to our national security or touches on something that's either beneficial or harmful.
And are you involved in that transition,
so obviously
Secretary?
I'm very involved in this. Well, of course. I mean, I think everyone knows I'm pretty involved on politics in this hemisphere. Obviously, as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, very involved in all these elements. The Department of War plays a very important role here, along with the Department of Justice, for example, because they're the ones that have to go to court. So this is a team effort by the entire national security apparatus of our country, but it is running this policy. And the goal of the policy is to see changes in Venezuela that are beneficial to the United States, first and foremost, because that's who we work for, but also, we believe, beneficial for the people of Venezuela who have suffered tremendously. We want a better future for Venezuela, and we think a better future for the people of Venezuela also is stabilizing for the region and makes the neighborhood we live in a much better and safer place.
So Rubio telling the new leadership, if you want to call them that, in Venezuela, this is our policy, reminds me of Trump telling Chris Christie, you're going to have the meatloaf.
This menu is great. Everything on the menu is great, but you're getting the meatloaf, fatty.
And Maduro's vice president is basically running things now, and the Trump administration's like, you can do what you want, but we're giving you the policy. You're having the meatloaf. It's the same type of deal here.
Oh, wow.
Now, as for the capture...
Oh, man. Badass, right?
Yeah, and here's what I love. 50 different nations outside of the United States do not consider Maduro as the duly elected president of Venezuela. Like 50 different nations.
They consider him illegitimate. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, rigged elections, collapsed economy, narco-terrorism. The list goes on and on and on for this guy.
Now, I'm old enough to remember when a large amount of Democrat, liberal voters in this country were very passionate about having a legitimate president. And if you're illegitimate, you've got to get forced out of power. Because they said that crap about Donald Trump all the time. Funny how I don't hear that same angst about Maduro here. And this guy literally was an illegitimate president.
Well, you did in Trump's first term. Democrats were practically egging Trump on to go into Venezuela and do a regime change. And now they're singing a different tune once it's actually happening.
Earlier today, in a court in Manhattan, Maduro and his wife, they were read the charges. They pled not guilty, and they're facing some serious charges here. Narco-terrorism and weapons charges. There's not a $50 million reward out for you if it's just a bag of weed, right?
Did you just hear Trump and Rubio? I think it was Rubio, or maybe it may have been Hegseth during that press conference when they mentioned the $50 million reward. And then Trump was like, we're not giving it to you. We make sure nobody claims that. Nobody claims it.
For the love of God, keep it away from Minnesota and the daycares. Don't let them anywhere near that $50 million. You mentioned earlier, Nigel, Rubio's been doing what's known as the car wash.
Sure.
They sent him out to speak to all the television stations.
Schooled a lot of people.
Oh, including Margaret Brennan of CBS.
Oh, I love it.
I hate the fact that I find her somewhat attractive, but she's so unlikable, man. Like, if you just watch her body language, she's melting down because of all of this. Margaret Brennan of CBS was mad that awesome raid where no United States servicemen or women were killed and was executed in like 6 minutes didn't get everybody involved. And Marco Rubio's just sitting there dumbfounded.
I'm confused. Are they still wanted by the United States? Why didn't you arrest them if you are taking out the narco-terrorist regime?
You're confused? I don't know why that's confusing to you.
They're still in power.
Imagine the howls we would have from everybody else if we actually had to go and stay there 4 days to capture 4 other people. We got the top priority. The number one person on the list was the guy who claimed to be the president of the country that he was not. And he was arrested along with his wife, who was also indicted. And that was a pretty sophisticated and frankly complicated operation.
It was.
It is not easy to land helicopters in the middle of the largest military base in the country. The guy lived on a military base. Land within 3 minutes, kick down his door, grab him, put him in handcuffs, read him his rights, put him in a helicopter, and leave the country without losing any American or any American assets. That's not an easy mission. And you're asking me, why didn't we do that in 5 other places at the same time? I mean, that's absurd.
Oh, man, but he's right. I mean, those guys, like I said earlier, they're badasses. I mean, the most powerful military in the world goes into a country full of, 25, 30 million people, lands on a military base, and within minutes, like Rubio said just then, goes in and gets that president, snatches him and his wife and his son and a couple other people. And now, a couple days later, they're back in front of a judge in New York.
Right. Like, all of that took like 6 minutes. And Margaret Brennan's like, well, how come you didn't do more of it? Are you serious, lady? Are you kidding me right now? Kamala Harris, she put out a statement ripping Trump and ripping the administration. But Nige, let's jump in the old hot tub time machine here and go back 1 year. In January, right before they left office, the Biden-Harris administration, they offered $25 million for information leading to Maduro's arrest. So they thought he was such a threat. They put up $25 million. And now he's been brought to justice and her panties are twisted.
They are bunched right up in there, aren't they?
Bunched right in there. Not even Willie Brown can get him out at this point. They're in there, man. They are in there. If you need a reason to drink tonight, Miss Allison, can I have some mood music, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I know you want me. You know I want
Little Pitbull right here.
Okay.
Mr. Worldwide. Your reason to drink tonight, Pitbull loves America. So I don't care what you think about his music or not. He kind of does that Cuban salsa, like dance kind of music, you know.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I dance to it every night.
I know you do.
In front of my wife.
But he loves America. His parents came from Cuba, and they had to defect because it was so bad. So when Pitbull sees people crapping on America, it pisses him off. This was him at a concert this past weekend.
To whoever the doesn't like the United States of America, may God bless you, but you at the same time.
Really?
If you don't like the United States of America, go back to the countries that we the from, and you'll see how much you appreciate the United States of America.
I love that message, man.
Incredible.
That's fantastic. Pitbull bringing the heat, man. Mr. Worldwide. All right, Mike Priest, what's going on, brother?
Well, we told you last report we had reports of a vehicle fire on the south side of 465, and it is jammed up going eastbound from Harding to before Meridian. Now, checking the jam cam, I don't see any smoke or flame, so hopefully crews were able to put it out pretty quick, but they do have the right lane blocked. Going through downtown, southbound 6570 jammed up from Michigan to the south split. 70 looking decent in both directions. Traffic is sponsored by Indiana Foundation Service, your local experts in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. Book your free inspection now at indianafoundation.com. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
48 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And if you missed the big announcement earlier, this Friday, Hammer and Nigel show live, Coach's Tavern, downtown, IU football pregame.
Right on.
We are going to be having a good time, and we want all of you folks come down and join us. All right, this is our first show of 2026.
Happy New Year.
We need, let's see, about 56 more people to jump on the WIBC YouTube chat, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. That gets us to 100. That's a good start for the new year. So let's get this new year rolling. YouTube chat, we need you. We're counting on you. 2026 is the year of the YouTube chat. So go to WIBC's YouTube feed. We've got the live cameras going, the chat's there. You can see how handsome and thin Nige looks. Down a bunch of pounds. I'm down a bunch of weight too. We look pretty damn good. But we need you to give us a like, to give us a thumbs up, so we can go back and tell the 20-year-olds in the digital department to go to hell. Please help us out. 54 more. That's all. 54 to get the new year rocking and rolling on WIBC's YouTube chat. Is This Anything? Next.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. We've helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate, I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James was good to work with, very cordial, and like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us, so he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Basically, he said, did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Call Simple Quarters 317-687-HOME. That's 317-687-HOME.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed, or your money back. No matter how many times you failed in the past, this hypnosis is guaranteed to work.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful. And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Only $59.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Hypnosis Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss hypnosis 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis at 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss hypnosis 11 a.m. Stop smoking hypnosis 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
This is Denny Smith, and if you're on a well, peace of mind starts with knowing what's happening underground. Right now, C&J is offering their lowest price of the year, 20% off a 6-point well inspection, a professional check that helps catch small issues before they turn into expensive problems. From water pressure to system performance, C&J's technicians make sure your well is working the way it should, so your family gets safe, reliable water. Official partner of the Indiana Pacers and Fever, great systems, great people. 317-852-WELL, cj4water.com.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
The Attorney General's Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. Reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and free to search at indianaunclaimed.gov.
And also the Attorney General's office, proud supporters of our charity bowling event.
They got a group in?
They got a group in this year. They got a lane ready to rock and roll.
I think the past 2 years they've had people.
Oh, they've had a good time, man. They get after it. So hat tip to those guys. Is this anything? 21-year-old guy in Florida got arrested after he fired a gun while celebrating on New Year's.
Of course.
We were just talking about this with Guy Relford. The bullet went through a woman's bedroom wall and ended up under her pillow. Now, luckily, she's okay. Here are the homeowners talking about the scary ordeal.
About 11:58 is when all the gunshots happened around the neighborhood. By 12:15, there was bullets flying through our house.
My 4-year-old, luckily, he normally sleeps in our bed, and just by the grace of God, he wasn't in there that night. The bullet was right there by my pillow. I remember it being very hot, and that's when I grabbed my son, and we went into the other bedroom because we didn't know what else was coming in.
And the same thing, yes, this is something, obviously, this is unacceptable behavior. It happens every year, and you swear you heard the same thing happen. I mean, the same thing happened on the southwest side of Indianapolis on New Year's, where a bullet came through and injured somebody that somebody had fired off into the air.
And I'm telling you, it's more than one person. It's a collective group of dumbasses because we had the fireworks set up outside, right? And we had everybody coming outside to do the, midnight fireworks. And it's almost like you got to wait for 30 seconds for these idiots to stop firing their guns off.
Wow. What are the chances? How do they know who fired the actual gun? You know what I mean? Like you fire a gun up into the air. And how far does it go? Where does it go? How can they trace it back to the guy? Maybe there's gunshot technology.
That, and maybe you can trace the bullet back somewhere.
How in the world? That's so sophisticated. I would not have ever imagined they could do that because, you had a bullet come through. It's very dangerous. Somebody was irresponsible. But how do you trace it back to this 21-year-old guy that actually fired the gun? That is amazing.
Is this anything? Hospital workers in Iowa went above and beyond to find a woman's set of lost rings.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Susan had her grandparents' wedding rings on and removed them for an x-ray, and then she didn't realize they were missing until the next day. She'd wrapped them in a napkin, and they ended up in a trash compactor.
Oh.
But the maintenance crew used metal detectors to separate any trash with metal. Here's the manager at the hospital and Susan talking about the staff going above and beyond to find the ring.
It only took us 35 images, about 45 minutes worth of imaging to come up with striking gold, I guess you could say. And so that was really rewarding.
I can't think of enough. And then when he told me what had all happened and how many people I'd helped, this is the best place for care.
But it was really rewarding to be able to give her a call and let her know.
Yeah, it was really nice of the hospital to do that. I wish the same would have happened to my wife when she went to the hospital, just for a regular checkup. And she put her rings down, and then they weren't there. They were missing. She didn't find them. Their wedding rings that I bought her before we got we got engaged. I was down on my knees, and she was and then she called the hospital, and they're just like, We don't see anything. This hospital in Iowa broke out metal detectors and was hopping in the garbage compactor.
That's more than I did when I was looking for mine.
You lost yours? How?
So we were washing our dogs when we had dogs in the driveway, and I put my wedding ring on my car to get in there and scrub the dogs, forgot to put it back on. Drove off with it. I looked in the grass, I looked at the driveway, and I said, that baby's gone.
I bet you're going to find it someday.
No way.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be walking to the yard one day and just kind of look down. What the? There it is. But, yeah, it was kind of heartbreaking when that happens. If you've ever lost your wedding ring, it was kind of, we had insurance and everything like that. We got the new ring. We got to go to, get it replaced and everything. And that was kind of fun. There was light at the end of the tunnel there. But that's, something very sentimental. Especially these were her grandparents' wedding rings.
Right. I was just lucky that Crystal was there for it, because me trying to tell her that it was an accident and I lost it. Yeah, whose whore's house did you leave it in? Which brothel did you leave it in?
I could see her saying that. Yes.
A Disney World employee is recovering after he got nailed by a runaway boulder at the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Worth the price of admission right there.
It looks really real. It looked like he was trying to block the big boulder from hitting members of the audience, so he took one for the team.
But
here's a recording of somebody in the audience that got the full Indiana Jones experience.
Look over there, Ray. That's coming right for us. He literally saved our lives. That guy.
Well, you never want to hear children screaming at Disney World, do you, like that? You never want to hear, oh, my God! That's something you hear maybe at a haunted house at Halloween, not Disney World. But, yeah, the guy's obviously a hero, took one for the team, and Disney better reimburse him, for sure. Talk about something that kids are going to remember for the rest of their life. Get me out of Disney World!
Remember the old movie Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene at the end where they're watching a movie in 3D and the bus comes crashing through, and they're like, this is the best 3D I've ever seen. I feel like these people watching the Indiana Jones show were like, that boulder looked real. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
It's not just cancer care. It's the complete care you get at Hendricks.
And you can feel that spirit of excellence, trying to do what's best from a medical standpoint, but also trying to affect the patient and their family as you would a family member.
Hendricks Care is trying to meet the patient where they are. You know your body better than anyone else.
Do the cancer screening early.
An ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure.
Learn about health screenings at hendricks.org/cancer.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
You might remember Venezuela's 2024 election. 51 degrees in downtown Indianapolis and partly sunny and cloudy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:31. That was disputed and called rigged by President Donald Trump. Nicolas Maduro claimed victory, speaking a lot of fallout, says Ray Lyman from Indy Telemundo.
He put in jail more than 2,500 people after the election in 2024. In this group, young guys, people with a spectrum, autism, they are in jail today in a prison in Venezuela.
Maduro and his wife were arrested in a U.S. military operation that President Trump says was carried out in coordination with the Justice Department. Trump is attacking Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over a massive fraud scandal involving stolen meal assistance funds, calling Walz corrupt, despite his claims that he fought the fraud. High temperatures will be in the 50s across Indiana this week, but John Herrick reports on when that will change.
Temperatures will drop into the freezing range by this weekend. Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you also might have to deal with some precipitation.
Right now, we're going to be looking for that colder weather coming in this weekend, and whether that leads to snow, it's possible. It could be snow as early as this weekend.
He says there might be some heavy rainfall both Thursday and Friday. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
McDonald's is being sued by customers who claim the McRib doesn't actually contain rib meat and is overpriced for the quality, though the company insists it's 100% pork. College basketball tonight. Michigan State will host USC in East Lansing. The game tips off at 8:30. With your WIBC closing bell report, the Dow gained almost 595 points to 48,977. The S&P 500 rose by nearly 44 points to 6902. The NASDAQ up by 160 points to 23,395. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
With traffic at 4:34, what are you watching, Mike Priest?
Oh, we've got our jam cam on a vehicle fire on the west side of 865. It looks like it has been extinguished, but westbound traffic a little bit slow past Ford Road with police on the right shoulder. On the rest of the interstates, hey, everybody's shown up. 65 now slow southbound most of the way from 21st through the downtown collector and out of the South Split to Keystone. Northbound backing up from Raymond to the South Split. 70 eastbound delays from Harding to the South Split. North side of 465 bunched up eastbound Michigan to Meridian and Keystone to Allisonville. Traffic is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today because at B-Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy with patchy fog potential and drizzle into Tuesday morning with lows in the upper 30s. Tuesday, mainly cloudy with potential for some showers in the morning hours, and then highs will try to get into the low 50s with breezy winds. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Happy New Year, everybody. First Hammer and Nigel show of the new year. Minnesota Governor Old Balls Tim Walz. Remember him, don't you? Spear fingers dancing around on the stage.
That was going to be the Democrats' answer to winning back men. That guy.
Under the Kamala Harris tutelage, right?
Doing leg kicks, walking out on the stage. That was going to win back young men.
Remember they called J.D. Vance weird. It's weird. No, you're weird. So anyway, he's a Minnesota governor, and he's not going up for his third term. He's ending his reelection bid amid this massive fraud scandal in Minnesota, where it's, all the daycare centers and the billions of dollars spent and all this fraud just rampant. I mean, the guy should probably go to jail.
So you're telling me that based on what I've seen since Saturday, it's easier to capture the leader of Venezuela than it is to find a kid in a Somali daycare in Minnesota. That's what you're telling me.
Wait, that reminds me. When I was, on my break, on vacation for the past week and a half, I started a new company under the Hammer and Nigel umbrella.
Oh, a new LLC.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hammer and Nigel Child Daycare Starter Kit. Introducing the Child Daycare Starter Kit from the Hammer and Nigel Show. The fastest way to open a child daycare funded by the government that exists exclusively on paper. Each kit includes paperwork you don't have to fill out, fake operating hours, an empty parking lot, and best of all, no children.
Yeah! All right.
Hey, don't take our word for it.
I haven't unlocked the door in 6 months, and now I'm a multi-millionaire.
We'll teach you how to look busy, sound compliant, and confidently say, we're working on that.
I don't have customers, employees, or a working phone, and I've never been more profitable.
The Child Daycare Starter Kit. No kids, no staff, no problem. From the Hammer and Nigel Show. There you go.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
New venture for our little show.
Load up the van. Let's get to Minneapolis as soon as we can. My goodness. We're joking about this, but has anybody been arrested yet?
No.
Let me know when there are arrests.
The only victims here are the taxpayers, right? There's nobody.
Billions of dollars. We're not talking about $100 here or $50 over there. Billions of dollars. And old boss Tim Walz thought it was funny, and he was blaming Republicans and blaming white people for finding out.
It's white people's fault. It's racism.
Sure.
Look who you're targeting. It's racist.
He was mad people found out, and that's why he's ending his re-election bid, because he was going to run again.
Nope.
But now, the same guy that Kamala Harris said, that's my dude. That's going to win over American males. That guy prancing and doing jazz hands. That's my guy.
Spirit fingers.
He's decided to pack it up, pack it in. And listen, this goes to Republicans too, because I know they got a big hearing coming up in less than 2 weeks where James Comer is going to wag his finger. But nobody's going to go to jail. Let me know when people go to jail.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this crap. So, here's what I thought we could do, Nige. This is an all-new segment for an all-new year. Throughout the year in 2026, we're going to have a segment called Talkin' Politics with AI Allison. And what we're going to do...
I did not approve of this.
Did you know this?
It's not even on the rundown.
The consultants say that listeners like you. They want you more involved in the show.
Yeah.
And I know you're a little hesitant sometimes. So that's why I've taken all the work out of this for you, okay? Here to talk about the scandal in Minnesota, the very first edition of Talkin' Politics with AI Allison.
Come on.
What a big goofy sack of shit.
Well.
That guy is so fucking stupid that he thought he could get away with allowing all of this. As far as I am concerned, he can take his jazz hands and shove them so.
Oh!
And I hope his anus bleeds from all of the.
Whoa! Hey! Hey!
If I see him on the street, I am going to. Using only my bare hands and my bra.
Wow!
AI Allison out.
That sounds like a real conversation I had with Nigel about Hammer a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Talking politics with AI Allison.
She said the same thing about you, actually. Oh, bravo.
Jen Psaki was actually at a loss for words.
The woman with the extremely red hair.
extremely red hair. She was talking to old egg fart, John Brennan.
Oh, former CIA director. Yeah,
Yes.
signed that list of all the intelligence people that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. He was one
Correct.
of the signatures on that. Yeah.
That guy who always has a face that looks like he smells an egg fart. Jen Psaki was actually rendered speechless because she was trying to set Brennan up to rip on Trump for this illegal raid to go get Maduro. But Brennan was like, no, the raid was actually pretty badass and perfect.
First of all, again, the U.S. military and U.S. intelligence are second to none in terms of their capabilities, their competence, talent, as well as their courageous actions. And so it does look as though it was a flawlessly executed operation, at least according to what we hear from the administration so far. And a lot of planning went into that. But that was, I don't want to say it's the easy part, because it was a sort of a complex operation. But this happened less than 24 hours ago. Now the big question is, what is the impact of that action? I think there are a lot of people in Venezuela and outside who are celebrating the departure of Maduro.
There is.
She pointed out he was an illegitimately installed leader, a dictator of Venezuela. He was involved in drug running for a number of years. He's been involved in a lot of, criminal activity. And so, yes, it's good that he is no longer in charge. But the big question is, what is going to happen now after this?
And just like that, Jen Psaki's face looked like she smelled an egg fart.
Yeah, she was sitting there blinking her eyes like a South Park character.
Yeah, I don't think she expected praise of the operation coming from Brennan, but there we are. And you're getting that from like the non-lunatic wing of the political left. Like Fetterman was praising what happened. CNN's senior military analyst, James Stavridis, he talked about the Trump administration's Venezuela operation.
Tell me how this news is being received in Iran. How's it being received in Russia? How's it being received in China?
All three, predictably, will deplore this kind of activity publicly. Privately, they will be impressed with the military capability here. No casualties on the side of the U.S. That's an extraordinary military operation. So I think while there will be a lot of public condemnation of the United States, predictably, from those three nations, privately, they'll be saying to themselves, that's a very capable military. That's not a bad thought to pop up in Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran these days.
So all of these hosts are trying to tee up their guests to crap all over Trump. And every single one of the guests is like, no, it was actually really badass. It was really cool.
I mean, we were saying that from the beginning. The youngest guy on that team was 20 years old.
He's old enough to go in there and rough up Maduro, but he can't come here and get a Miller Lite.
That's BS, man.
Right?
What a bunch of BS.
And again, this is the elite group of dudes he's running with, like the Delta Force guys. That's not your run-in-the-mill weekend warrior, man. Those are some best of the best.
They go into a country of 25, 30 million people, land on their own military base, and all of a sudden, 3 minutes later, you've got the president of the entire country and his wife in a helicopter on their way back to the battleship to go to New York. And all of a sudden, they're in front of a judge in New York City earlier today from an indictment in 2020 on narco-terrorism.
And they did it in 6 minutes. This segment has been longer than 6 minutes. In the time it's taken us to joke with Allison, to play these sound bites, a helicopter would have landed on a military base, bust open the door, grabbed Maduro, threw him in, read him his rights, and flew off in less time than this segment would have been. That's incredible to me. That's pretty badass. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Birthday is coming. Okay, so my wife's birthday is coming up. My daughter's 12th birthday is coming up, and I'm definitely taking them both to PA Jewelers at the farmhouse in Brownsburg, where they have a huge selection, sale prices every single day. They don't mark their stuff up like the big national chains do, right? Real friends won't overcharge, and smart shoppers like you guys aren't going to overpay at PA Jewelers at the farmhouse in Brownsburg. It's at 3750 South Green Street. PAJewelers.jewelry. That's PAJewelers.jewelry.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Wheat Grow Hair Indy. You know, champions just don't show up. They pick the right team to get the best results. And when it comes to restoring your hair, We Grow Hair Indy is that team. You know, 5 years ago, I made the choice to head over to We Grow Hair Indy. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I did. You know, guys at the top of their game, radio personalities, coaches, and well-known athletes have all trusted We Grow Hair Indy to restore their hair. Why? Because their results are permanent, natural, and speak for themselves. Here's what you do. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule a totally free, no-hassle, no-obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indy, will take a look at what's going on top of your head and make some suggestions on how you can get your hair and your confidence back. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, see some other folks who have made the choice to get their confidence back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Get the Dugan Air Premium Service Tune-Up for just $57. The Dugan Air experts won't just inspect, they will fine-tune your furnace to perfection with a detailed 27-point safety check. Plus, Dugan Air's no breakdown guarantee means you'll bask in comfort all winter long without worry. In Johnson County and South Central Indiana, experience the Dugan difference. Dugan Air is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer. Go DuganAir.com.
Premium service, no shenanigans.
Hi, my name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March of 27 and seen Mark. My best friend came with me. We both went to it, and neither one of us smoked a cigarette in almost 7.5 months. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a Mark Patrick seminar, the Stop Smoking, and it worked. A friend of mine also went, and he still no longer smokes, and it was just amazing.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed. Only $59.99. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Stop the cravings and stop smoking for good. Stop Smoking Hypnosis begins at 8 p.m. on Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville, or at 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up today at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 60% off plus 24 months, same as cash, with 0% interest.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
Mark your calendar for January 24th at the Hyatt Regency for a night of insight and flair with Tony Katz. Trump 1 year later. VIP and GA tickets are available. WIBC.com for more info. Presented by Defiance Beef Company, Premier Arms and Chimney Solutions.
All right, Mr. Priest, how do these roads of ours look?
Well, they're getting busier by the moment, Hammer, and we have a rollover crash with injuries reported in Lawrence at 21st and Post Road. 65 now sporting delays southbound, State Road 267 to 865, and most of the way from 21st through the South Split to Keystone Avenue, northbound back to Raymond to the South Split. 70 eastbound delays go from Harding to the South Split. On the north side of 465, brake lights east, Michigan to Meridian, and Keystone to Allisonville. The traffic is sponsored by B-Window. Right now at B-Window, receive up to 60% off, plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today, because at B-Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we are looking at 48 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Man, it's
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and
Oh, can I go now, Allison? Is that fine if I start?
Guy's already had his time on our program. It's very rude for him to try to take even more.
I was going to mention the big live broadcast we just announced today, the pregame, the tailgate for the IU-Oregon Peach Bowl game this Friday at Coach's Tavern with Hammer and Nigel.
We're going to be down there starting at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Live show.
Beer sample Friday.
Libations, beer sample Friday, man. And if you're an IU fan or maybe you're an Oregon fan, you're welcome to.
You and your man bun can feel free to come on in.
That's right. And I'm glad you bring that up because for the last, week and a half, we've been having fun with the Alabama fans.
Sure.
We did daily Alabama jokes.
Oh,
and
we got a complaint about that, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Very scathing voicemail. But Indiana ended up blowing the doors off of those trailer trash hillbillies, so I feel like it was worth it. So now we turn our attention to those patchouli-wearing, stinky hippies in the Pacific Northwest, the Oregon Duck fans. So every day between now and kickoff, we will do Oregon jokes.
Oh, right on.
Are we ready?
Okay.
So I'll give you 2 today, and we'll have 2 tomorrow. How do you starve an Oregon Duck fan?
No idea.
You just hide their food stamps under a bar of soap.
Oh, boy.
Why don't Oregon fans shower? They're trying to let their body owner finish the thought.
That's how strong it is. It's got its own mind of its own.
It does. It's very, very strong. So each day around this time, we will come back with some more Oregon jokes, if you will. According to Reddit, Nige, people on Reddit are listing off jobs that actually pay really well, whether you realize it or not.
What do we got? What are we talking?
Septic tank installation and septic tank repair. Now, it's not the sexiest job in the world, okay? But $200,000.
It's not enough.
$200,000 is a damn good payday to clean a septic tank. But let me go to Allison, because Allison works on the Home and Garden Show. Allison, $200,000. If you learned this skill, would that be something that interests you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm actually signing up right now. So this is my last shift with you guys. I'll be in the sewers.
You're going to be a septic tank installer.
Or septics, yeah. I will say, Denny Smith on the Home and Garden Show, he always says the trades pays a lot more than people even realize. And that's why they're really pushing it, especially these days with the push for college. So I'm not surprised.
How about
what else?
Casino dealers, blackjack dealers, poker dealers?
You worked at a casino.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't a dealer.
No, I worked in marketing, and I was the DJ and like the host and MC and stuff. And
that's when there were no dealers.
Well, there were dealers, but there were no hard cards. You had to hit button for electronic cards. Long story, but yeah, if the casino is crowded, the dealers are going to make a lot of money because you are supposed to tip your dealers, right? Now, there are some people that blow all their money and they walk away with nothing. I get it. It happens. But if you're on a heater, man, you take care of the dealer and they can make some big bucks by the end of the night, especially if you're a high roller. If you get stuck in the high roller room, you can make a killing that night. Here are some other jobs listed on Reddit where you might not realize how much they pay. Being a truck driver.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The heroes of the COVID pandemic.
Yes. And our pal Drake for America, super fan. He drives big truck.
He's got a route every day up to Chicago and back.
Yeah.
I think that's
one of those gigs where you're always going to have work. People will always need something shipped.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And there's been a shortage of drivers, I believe, before. Now, if mafia movies have taught me anything, you got to go well armed because at some point there's going to be a mob like The Sopranos or like in Goodfellas. They're going to try to rob your truck. So you better be strapped and be ready to throw down. But other than that, it seems like it's an awesome gig. But yeah, those are the gigs that actually pay well. What was the movie where these septic tank guys were eating lunch on the back of the septic tank?
Men at Work?
Might have been Men at Work.
No, that's a garbage truck.
Ready to Rumble, I think it was. David Arquette and Scott Conn. I'm pretty sure it's those guys eating their sandwiches, just sitting there on the back of the septic tank. Top story is next.
and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, if you're tired of your house being uncomfortably cold, I don't blame you. It's, electric and oil bills are shockingly expensive this time of year. That's why Window Nation has the deal that they do. Hammer's going to tell you about it.
This sale is a big one. Buy 4, get 4 for free. That's a lot of 4s in there, and you're getting a lot of stuff for free. It's a great time to replace some of those old windows in your home. So call Window Nation right now. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. They've got an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, over 45,000 5-star reviews. And I'm telling you as a customer, these guys are the best in the business. This deal is not going to last forever. Buy 4, get 4 for free. Also, 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. WindowNation.com. You got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. $9,000 off a new Lincoln Corsair, $9,000 off a new Lincoln Nautilus, or $9,000 off a new Lincoln Aviator. Your choice of any of these great luxury cars, $9,000 off. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Corsair stock number L25277, MSRP 52220. Nautilus stock number L25270, MSRP 57235. Aviator stock number L25246, MSRP 65165. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A call for a different kind of action on Venezuela. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
A bipartisan measure that will affirm Congress's authority on matters of war and peace when it comes to Venezuela.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer on the push for a war powers resolution after the U.S. military operation many Democrats call illegal, capturing Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. But War Secretary Pete Hegseth defending it again today.
Nearly 200 of our greatest Americans went downtown in Caracas. Seems those Russian air defenses didn't quite work so well, did they? Downtown Caracas, and grabbed an indicted individual wanted by American justice in support of law enforcement without a single American killed.
Hegseth kicking off a national Arsenal of Freedom tour by visiting Newport News Shipbuilding in Virginia. This as Maduro and his wife made a first U.S. court appearance in New York City, pleading not guilty to drug and weapons counts. Maduro calling himself innocent and a kidnapped president. The defense not seeking bail for now. Jury selection begins in the Texas trial of a former officer charged in the response to a mass school shooting.
Adrian Gonzalez is charged with 29 counts of child abandonment or endangerment. The former Uvalde school police officer was one of the first officials to respond to the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary, where a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers. While hundreds of local, state, and federal law enforcement officers responded to the scene, officials waited more than an hour to confront and kill the gunman. Prosecutors allege Gonzalez placed lives in imminent danger by failing to engage, distract, or delay the shooter and did not follow his active shooter training.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin, the defense argues he tried to save lives. Federal health officials say not as many vaccines will be recommended for every child, a change leaving more decisions up to families and their doctors, but that critics slam as risky. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Unusually warm weather for this time of year. You've got mostly sunny skies and 51 degrees in the Circle City. Tonight's low is 30. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
Southern Indiana seeing the warmest temperatures through midweek. Northern Indiana maybe closer to into the 40s. So the further south you are, the warmer you're going to see.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says rain is possible Thursday into Friday before a cool down into the 30s happens this weekend. 3 people were arrested after an attempted armed robbery in Anderson yesterday. Just before 1 that afternoon, police found 4 people that kicked a door at the back of a house. Someone shot one of the intruders. The suspects ran off, but police found 3 of them. Julian Fuller and 2 teenagers were all charged. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said today a man was sentenced to 11 years in the Indiana Department of Correction after being convicted of a misdemeanor and a felony for a shooting in 2022. James Thompson Jr. was found guilty after a 2-day trial this past November. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is suing Eli Lilly. John Herrick explains why.
Rokita accuses Eli Lilly of participating in a scheme with other insulin manufacturers and pharmacy benefit managers to what he calls artificially inflate insulin prices by over 1,000% despite low manufacturing costs. He says the goal of this is to drive structural market changes, provide relief to affected customers, and ensure lasting accountability. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And today, Indianapolis Colts CEO Carly Ursay-Gordon said she made the decision last week to keep Colts general manager Chris Ballard and head coach Shane Steichen going into next season.
But we really believe this decision is based on we wouldn't make it if we didn't think that Chris and Shane weren't capable of replicating what we saw in the first half of our season and being able to finish through the entire season next year.
The Colts started off the season 8-2, but lost their next 7 games to go 8-9. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 5:04.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
With your WIBC traffic at 5:05, here's Mike Priest.
A major emergency response on the city's southwest side. A crash with injuries, Mooresville Road, Nolender Drive. The vehicle is overturned. Reports of 2 people trapped inside. Avoid Mooresville west of Man Road. On 65, southbound Seoul State Road 267 to 865. Then you're jammed from 21st through the South Split most of the way to Keystone Avenue. 70 on the brakes eastbound from Harding to the South Split and out of the North Split to Keystone. Traffic is sponsored by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business, like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples, that was easy, ends January 31st. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We are tracking a cloudy Monday night with potential for some patchy fog and drizzle into Tuesday morning. Lows will be down to the upper 30s. Tuesday will try to get into the lower 50s with some breezy winds out of the southwest. Potential for some lingering showers Tuesday morning as well. Now by Wednesday we will track a little bit more sunshine in the mix. Highs will still be in the low 50s. Could even see some mid 50s across the region before our next system moves in by Thursday night. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
So, Hammer, what do you think about the Colts? I mean, not wasting really any time after that calamity of an ending of a game on Sunday. Colts bringing back longtime GM Chris Ballard and their head coach Shane Steichen.
I feel like if they give Ballard just another 13 or 14 years, maybe, just maybe, he'll have this team ready to contend. Just needs a little more time, Nige, maybe 16 or 17. Maybe that'll be enough time for him to put together a roster to compete in the daunting AFC South. Which this past year, okay, the AFC South actually had 2 pretty good teams in it. But over the last decade, it's been the worst division in football. And do you know how many division titles the Colts have? 0.
That's a big goose egg right there.
0. The last 5 years, it's been the same story. It's Groundhog Day. We're sitting here having this conversation. Is Ballard going to be done as we've missed the playoffs? And it's going to continue. I got to be honest with you, Nige. I thought Carly might be a little different. Carly Ursay Gordon. She's kind of calling the shots now.
Yes.
Technically, all of the sisters are part of the ownership, but she's in charge of football. Like the others have different responsibilities. And I thought she was going to be just a bull in a china shop, but they're running it back with everybody. Are you okay with this? Because you know where I stand.
You said something when you were on with Rob earlier this morning that really made sense and resonated even with me. It's not like the Colts are the Jets. It's not like the Colts are even the Titans in our own division. The Colts still have a real opportunity if they get that they sent Danny Dimes out to play on a broken stick, and it made it even worse. So if they have a decent chance at maybe being successful next year, maybe bring everybody back for one more year, because there's so many tools that Shane Steichen has. He's just been very unlucky.
But is Steichen part of the problem?
When he tries to get cute.
Because I would argue Steichen was a big part of the problem. I don't like the way that he uses the timeouts. I hate the fact that if the Colts win the toss, they receive instead of getting the extra possession in the second half. He butchered the overtime against Kansas City. I mean, you win just one more game along the way, at least you're still alive for that final game. You might still miss the playoffs because the Jags and the Texans both were really good down the stretch, but you'd be alive. And man, it was just a mess. Colts have not won, I believe, a game in the United States since October 26th, because the last game they won was in Germany, and then they lost every single game after that. So Kevin Bowen, who covers the Colts, is going to join us coming up at 5:20. Now, to his credit, he joined us when you were off, Nige.
Okay.
He said all signs are pointing to them running it back because they don't have a first-round draft choice, and Carly was the one that kind of signed off ultimately on that trade to bring in Sauce Gardner that cost you 2 first-round draft picks.
And so And so you got a quarterback that you're going to have to dump a lot of money into, maybe Alec Pierce, that wide receiver. Who would be worth a crap would want to come here that would be available?
Somebody that just wants
guys.
a paycheck at this point, because you've got to find a pass rusher. Like the fact that the other team's quarterback can just sit back there, crack open a beer, scratch their ass a little bit, survey, check down 8 or 9 times before getting any sort of pressure is a problem. Got to find somebody that can rush the passer. That defense is awful. Like Riley Leonard was pretty good yesterday, the Notre Dame kid. He played well.
It's fun to watch.
Phillip Rivers wasn't bad.
He was fun to watch, too.
While he played, our defense was atrocious. And the play calling, I think, at certain moments throughout the season, that's why it wouldn't have broke my heart if Ballard and Steichen would have been on the next train out of town. But they're both coming back, so we'll talk to Kevin Bowen coming up in just a little bit. Miss Allison, we've got some local legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
So the Attorney General, Funky Todd Rokita, he's suing Eli Lilly and Company, basically saying that the company conspired with some other big pharma drug manufacturers to just jack up the prices of insulin over a specific time period. The action follows similar lawsuit that he filed back in March of 24, a year ago, against a handful of other insulin makers, basically stating that, you know, there was a period where the price of insulin went up by more than 1,000%.
Good Lord.
But the cost remained very low. Like the producing cost of insulin was about $2 to $4 a vial. But yet some of these companies, and he mentions Lilly in this lawsuit, they jacked up the rates anywhere from 1,000%. That's up $300 to $700.
Eli Lilly, just a small local company, right?
Oh, Nige, you and your drugs, and those drugs might have been given to you by Lilly. They're a monster. I mean, that is a monster of a company. You're going after one of the big boys here.
I guess I'm all for like an open market here in the United States of America. You charge whatever you want for whatever you make. But conspiring, yeah, that's something else altogether. That's some legal stuff right there.
If it happens on Wall Street, people go to jail. Hell, Martha Stewart did insider trading and went to jail. Now, it should have been Pelosi. It should have been a lot of folks in Washington. But Martha Stewart went to federal prison for insider trading. To me, this really isn't that different. If you've got these big drug, big pharma heads all getting together going, listen, these people are going to buy it no matter what because they're in need. They're either suffering from diabetes or they've got some other thing. They'll pay whatever it costs. Let's get together and screw them. That sucks.
I'm sure somebody will go to jail, right? Let me guess. Me and my drugs?
You and your drugs, Nudge. Probably got them from Lilly. Speaking of drugs, the Free Maduro people were out on Monument Circle over the weekend. Did you see the pictures of these people?
Yeah.
Now, it was just not that long ago, the No Kings people were out protesting on the circle. So I'm wondering, how many of these people have the same political philosophy? How can you be somebody that says, no kings, but then turn around and go, free Maduro? I don't think it should work like that. And I think so many of these people just don't know what the hell they're talking about. I think that's a big part of it. Journalist Nate Friedman, he's got a viral video out there now where, I believe this was in New York, there was a no war with Venezuela rally going on. And some protester said he was there to, protest against the United States.
Yeah.
But he showed him a video of people back in Venezuela celebrating, and this numbnuts, this anti-American protester, had nothing to say afterwards.
I'm organized with the Revolutionary Communists of America. We're out here to say hands off Venezuela, and we unequivocally stand with the people of Venezuela against U.S. imperialist aggression.
What do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets?
What?
What do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets today?
I saw images of Venezuelans being bombed after the U.S. bombed Caracas, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, I think you should definitely
show me the bombings that you're talking about. I didn't see any.
I don't know. I just saw it on Reddit. It was on the front page
Oh,
of the so,
okay. But what do you think about the people celebrating? The hundreds of thousands of people that are in the streets celebrating.
I have yet to see it. Can you show me that?
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
He shows his phone.
I mean, at the end of the day, I stand with the people of Venezuela against U.S. imperialism. The U.S. has no right to bomb the people of Venezuela. The U.S. has no right to kidnap another leader of another.
Celebrating?
It's under indictment.
I don't know. Do you have a correspondent there who can ask?
This guy sounds like Fetterman right after he had a stroke. I'm here standing next to a collapsed bridge. You've got no idea what you're talking about, do you?
I'm going to defer to the people of Venezuela and the images I saw them celebrating in the streets, the images I saw of them celebrating the population in Florida, South Florida, and Miami, rather than some jerk off on the, protesting or some podcaster that posts a long diatribe on Facebook or something like that.
So hold on. You're going to tell me you're going to side with the people of Venezuela that you see on video celebrating? You're going against the white women I went to high school with that are lecturing me on Facebook? That's what you're doing, Nige?
That's what I'm doing, damn it!
Hot take. Real quick before we hit a traffic break here, happy 51st birthday to actor Bradley Cooper. Cooper. He is part of the list of people that my wife would absolutely leave me for in a heartbeat.
Got a pass there?
Oh, there's a pass for sure. Absolutely.
Yours is Britney Spears, but hers is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, and listen, Britney has seen better days. I'm aware of that. But at this point, I feel like I owe it to her. I like to give her a good old-fashioned Rogering if given the opportunity. I feel like I owe it to her. Yeah, I mean, like Sydney Sweeney is out there, but I don't think you can change your pick. So,
okay.
Again, Bradley Cooper, 51 today.
Great actor, fun, hilarious.
Loved him in The Hangover.
Oh, whatever. Look, I left my wife and kid at home so I could go with you guys to Vegas. You know how difficult that was?
It's really sweet, Phil.
Yeah.
Dude, I was being sarcastic. I fucking hate my life. I may never go back. I might just stay in Vegas.
And then when he wasn't being like cool, good-looking Bradley Cooper, he was D-bag Bradley Cooper, like Sack in The Wedding Crashers.
Yes. I hunt quail, Jeremy. They're overpopulated in this region, and they're decimating the grubworm population. You got a fucking problem with that?
Not nearly as much as I do with the attire that you have on, or just your general point of view towards everybody. But let's go kill some birds. I'm psyched.
Great movie.
Happy 51st to one of the hall passes for Crystal Hammer, Bradley Cooper. All right, Mike Priest is filling in for Matt Baer. What are we looking at this afternoon?
Well, if you'd like the complete list of hall passes for Hammer's Wife, you can get those 6 leather-bound volumes by including $299.95 for shipping. Never mind. Well, let's take a look at the roads here. Mooresville Road, still major activity west of Man Road. Crews working on a crash with injuries. We understand from scanner reports that both people inside the vehicle have been extricated and emergency crews remain on scene. 65 southbound, slowing down, approaching 865, then heavy delays from West Street through the downtown collector all the way to Keystone Avenue. 70, you're backed up east West Street to the south split and out of the north split to Keystone. East side of 465 on the brakes northbound Pendleton Pike to 69. Traffic is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Mike Praise. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
44 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. All right, we're going to connect with Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan. Okay. Been covering the Colts for a long time. Used to be a writer over at the Indianapolis Colts. And we'll get his thoughts on Carly Ursay's presser, the fact they're going to run it back with everybody. We'll see what KB has to say next.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. What role does thermogenesis play in fat loss?
You need to be able to generate calorie burning. And a lot of people are very, very low on their calorie burning. For a woman, if she's at 20% body fat and she eats a meal, her thermogenesis will naturally respond and it will increase by 70% and you'll burn up calories. If you're at 30% body fat, it only will actually increase to 40%. If you're at 45% body fat, guess how much your thermogenesis increase when you eat? 0. So the higher you go up, the less thermogenesis occurs. We can give things that can stimulate thermogenesis naturally, which we can test out which ones are going to work the best for you to naturally increase thermogenesis.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
I've started my journey with the Good Feet store. You guys know I've had the plantar fasciitis issues, that pain that takes place in your heel, and you're like, what's happening here? So I went to the Good Feet store, talked to the trusted team of arch support specialists. You know, when your feet don't feel good, it affects you physically, mentally, emotionally. It puts a strain on everything. The Good Feet premium arch supports and the personalized approach to fitting are the smartest investment you can make in your self-care journey. And the first step is realizing that you're worth it. For every foot, every lifestyle, the Good Feet store offers the possibility of a pain-free future, empowering anyone to achieve their full potential. There's a free, no obligation personalized fitting. That's the key to Good Feet's value. I'm starting my journey with Good Feet. You should do the same. Made in the USA, consists of 100% US origin materials. Good Feet has 2 Indy area locations, at Clearwater at the Crossing and in Greenwood just off of 65. Be sure to tell them Tony Cat sent you. Online at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com.
I'm at Decatur Township Station 73 in Canby, Indiana. I'm a firefighter engineer. I drive all emergency equipment to the scenes. So my father-in-law, his health was declining. We needed to move him to put in assisted living, and we needed to get the home out of his name. It definitely affects your job, thinking about things at home, trying to get things settled. I would catch myself here at the firehouse thinking about, I need to hurry up and get this done with the home. I need to close on it. I really didn't want to hassle with putting it on the market, listing it. I just Googled and found simple quarters, and I reached out to Megan, and the process could not have been smoother. She met with me, I think it was the next day. We did a walkthrough of the house. It just took an hour to do the walkthrough of the property. Megan was straightforward from start to the finish. She told me what they could offer. There was no pressure involved whatsoever. The pricing I got for the house was very fair. I would recommend Simple Quarters. The process was very, very simple.
Call Simple Quarters 317-687-HOME, 317-687-HOME.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. That's 800-798-9512.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Part of the morning show on 107.5, The Fan. Kevin Bowen joins us. KB, Carly Ursay Gordon spoke to the media earlier. We found out late last night that they were going to run it back in terms of the GM and head coach next year, something that you called on our program the last time you joined us. For those who did not get a chance to listen to what Carly had to say today, recap that for us.
Yeah, so basically she said it came down to the first 2 months of the season. That was the overwhelming reason why she decided to run it back. She said she made the decision last week. It sounds like she kind of made it really midseason, really. I think the Sauce Gardner trade and green lighting that also is something that played here in it. And, you know, she didn't offer necessarily a playoff or bust or that black and white, but she referenced several times a higher sense of urgency more than last year in regards to this upcoming season. I think you could probably interpret that in a lot of different ways, but yeah, that's part of her reasoning for bringing them back. 10th year for Ballard, 4th year for Steichen.
So I read the transcript of some of her answers, and at one point, Carly says, quote, "I'm pissed, we're pissed." Is that something that Jim would have said? Like, how was her post-season not going to the playoffs speech different than her old man's?
Oh, probably the only similarity is that both of them were late to their, to their respective press conferences. That's probably about the only similarity. I mean, it's a prepared statement. It's not this emotional roller coaster. It's, very, clear she had 3 or 4 talking points that she kept on coming back to. So, yeah, I would say very different from that aspect to it. Again, the one question I think you would have, and I'm sure any fan would have, is, again, a higher sense of urgency now. Well, I would argue, where was that last year? When you think about the long drought of 10 years without a division title and 7 years without a playoff win, and then, 4 years without a playoff appearance, all those numbers were heading into last season. I would argue the sense of urgency should have been pretty high then.
Is there anybody that's worth a damn out there now? Like, say she would have fired Steichen and the GM. Is there anybody that's out there that's worth paying to come in, or that would actually want to come in and coach this team the way the position it's in now?
Yeah, I mean, I always think, Nigel, this is one of 32. Maybe there is the Class A candidate or whatever that, might gravitate towards, Jim Harbaugh a few years ago, for example. I mean, he went to the Chargers with Justin Herbert. Maybe he could have been a little picky. So, but, you've had candidates hired at all different parts of the coaching cycle. Liam Cohen, for example, last year in Jacksonville, last one hired, and now look at them. They won the AFC South. So, I get it might not be the most ideal situation. I also don't think we're talking about the Cleveland Browns here.
So off-season wise, you're going to have a team that does not have a first-round draft choice. Technically, I guess Daniel Jones is a free agent. Alec Pierce is a free agent. You don't have any pass rush here. I know we're way early in the process, but look into that crystal ball, KB. What's this offseason going to look like for Carly Ursay, Chris Ballard, and the Colts?
Yeah, it's a great question, Hammer, because I just don't understand where a lot of change would come from. Do I think there's some change, particularly on the defensive front, that needs to happen? I do, but resource-wise, you bring up Jones and Pierce. Those are obviously guys you have to re-sign. They don't have a first-round pick. Coaching staff-wise, I assume, the bulk of that staff is going to be brought back. I don't think this is even a Gus Bradley situation for Lou Anarumo. So, yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of change. I think you are honestly banking on improved health. And it's a bit of a dangerous game to play because let's take the 3 big health questions exiting this past season. Daniel Jones plays the most important position in sports. Unfortunately, he's been oft injured in his career, and he's now coming off a torn Achilles in less than a year. Okay, there's your first one. DeForest Buckner now is having neck surgery or had neck surgery here in the last week or two. He's 31, 32 years old, and, he sounded a little different to me as the season moved along and the neck issue developed for him. And then Javarius Ward, the newcomer, the corner over from San Francisco, 3 concussions in a year. Today during locker room cleanout, he spoke about certainly debating retirement. So, again, those are 3 critical components to the nice start to the season that now you have questions about whether they will play or how effective they will play here in 2026.
KB, last thing here before we let you go. Totally different topic. IU football preparing for the biggest game in program history coming up on Friday against the Oregon Ducks. But low key, for those who haven't been following it, they have been killing it in the transfer portal. I know this is like a thing that Cignetti does, and he's done very well, but it seems like the Hoosiers just keep getting stronger, even though, they're focused on the game. This transfer portal, it seems like every time I look at, my Twitter account, they've got some stud coming to Bloomington.
Yeah, I think I've been scarred from transfer portal celebrations after the Mike Woodson era played out. But if Kurt Signetti told me that I could finish top 10 of the Boston Marathon in a few months, I would believe him. Like anything he touches turns to gold. And hell, when he touched the James Madison guys, they all turned to gold. And now he's whatever, theoretically, getting, bigger and better, whatever star ranked recruits, however you want to look at it. So, I don't think we ever thought, and again, his commitment from Pam Whitten, we had Scott Dolson, the athletic director, on our show this morning. When you got the buy-in for football, the largest alumni base in the U.S. is not going to sit quietly. And I think once Signetti, credit to him for opening those eyes in year one, the pocketbooks were ready. And honestly, the pocketbooks maybe have slid across the parking lot a little bit down there in Bloomington from basketball over to football. So, unbelievable juggling act, and I think they win on Friday. I think they are definitely the better team. I know a lot of people are, hey, it's hard to beat a team twice. That was their most penalized game in the season in a true road game, and a guy like Charlie Becker, who has more than emerged lately, he didn't even have a catch in that game. It was kind of before he's really stepped into the spotlight here. So I think Indiana will be playing for a national title in football, which is just absolutely absurd.
What's coming up on the big show tomorrow?
Yeah, I want to again plug that Scott Dolson Athletic Director podcast that we had. So he was on the show today. So I appreciate you letting me do that. Rick Carlisle will join us. We'll play a lot of the Carly Ursay Gordon audio for you if you missed that. But Rick Carlisle will join us as the Pacers are in quite the slide this season.
That is Kevin Bowen, 107.5 The Fan, part of the morning show. KB, we appreciate you coming on with us every Monday after a Colts game this year, and hopefully we can keep that going in 2026, 2027.
You bet, boys. Always enjoy the combo. Yeah. You guys have a great, great new year.
See you, KB.
All right, we're going to play a fun round of Are You Okay With This coming up right after Jake does the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
A Venezuelan journalist in Indianapolis calls President Nicolas Maduro a brutal dictator. Sunny during your sunset in downtown Indy. It's also 49 degrees, lows tonight in the lower 30s. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:32. Ray Lyman from Indy Telemundo first met him when he was a bus driver long before the U.S. arrested him.
And he never imagined that he will be driving my country and rule the country in a terrible way, because he can be a bus driver and be a president for sure in every country. And that is amazing that a human being can achieve that.
Maduro and his wife are set to appear in a U.S. federal court on Monday for the first time, and they're facing charges in New York's Southern District, including narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Police in Lawrence, Kansas says a man who forced his way into City Hall was shot and killed.
The intruder had entered the building, gone up a stairway, broken out a glass window in the fourth floor stairwell door.
Police Chief Rich Lockhart says a city employee shot the man. Behind the door were the offices of the city manager, city attorney, and budget manager. Hilton is looking into staff at one of their hotels as it's canceling room reservations for Homeland Security personnel in Minneapolis. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
Homeland Security officials posted screenshots of emails agents received from a Hilton hotel account. It says, "We found information about immigration work connected with your name and will be canceling your upcoming reservation." Another email ends by saying, "Please notify your coworkers. We are not allowing immigration agents to house on our property." Homeland Security spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin wrote in a post, "Why is Hilton siding with murderers and rapists to undermine and impede them from enforcing immigration law?" Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
You're paying an average of $2.75 a gallon of gas today, says Gas Buddy. And if you're going to the Peach Bowl on Friday, new flights were added to Indy Airport, like American and Delta Airlines. News time, 5:34. Your traffic now with Mike Priest.
Crash at a busy intersection on the east side where 34th Arlington and Mass Ave come together. 2 vehicles involved, injuries reported. On 65, southbound is heavy from the North Split through the downtown collector, and then you have slow pockets past the South Split to Keystone Avenue. 70 with delays eastbound Meridian to the South Split and out of the North Split to Keystone. 465 on the north side, so westbound Ditch Road to 865, backed up east from 865 to Meridian and Keystone to Allisonville. 69 slow north off 465 to 87. 22nd. You're heavy southbound 96th Street to 465. This report is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off, plus 24 months same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today, because at B Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We are tracking a cloudy Monday night with potential for some patchy fog and drizzle into Tuesday morning. Lows will be down to the upper 30s. Tuesday will try to get into the lower 50s with some breezy winds out of the southwest. Potential for some lingering showers Tuesday morning as well. Now by Wednesday, we will track a little bit more sunshine in the mix. Highs will still be in the low 50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Steven Iena for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Well, Hammer McDonald's is facing a class action suit claiming the McRib does not actually contain any rib meat.
You don't say.
Well, they say it's actually made from shoulder, heart, and scalded stomach.
Lips and a-holes.
Are you?
Just lips and a-holes.
Like the great outdoors. Are you okay with this class action lawsuit claiming the McRib doesn't actually contain ribs?
Let me set the mood here with, I think this is the very first McRib television commercial back from 1981.
What'd you say this was again?
McDonald's calls it the McRib sandwich. It's a new kind of Q.
McRib? I don't see any bones.
Hey, who wants bones in a sandwich? McRib is all meat, lean pork that's grilled and simmered in a hickory smoke-flavored barbecue sauce, and put on a home-style roll with pickles and onions. Well, how about it? The McRib sandwich, a new kind of Q.
Back from 81, huh? Okay.
First of all, with that commercial, I love that the narrator guy calls it the McDonald's. There are parts of Indiana, specifically the more south you go down, it goes from McDonald's to the McDonald's. And Allison, get ready to play that one more time. When somebody says, but there's no bones here.
What'd you say this was again?
McDonald's calls it the McRib sandwich. It's a new kind of Q.
McRib? I don't see any bones.
Hey, who wants
Hey, shut the hell up. Don't worry about it, you little smart ass. No, this is
not okay with the lawsuit?
I'm not okay with this because I feel like you know what you're getting into when you get a McRib sandwich here. Yeah, it's probably not going to taste like something from your backyard cookout where there's going to be a big bone in it and it's slathered up with barbecue sauce. It's a processed deal. It's a fast food joint. Yes. You know what you're getting. Which brings us to great moments in McRib history. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry the Cable Guy.
The McRib. You know what I noticed about the McRib? You only see it at McDonald's 2 months a year, and then you never see it again. I figured out why. It takes 10 months to hunt down and shoot whatever the hell kind of meat that is in
McRib. Friend of the show, Larry the Cable Guy.
I forgot, yeah.
Great moments in McRib history. This is when I believe the authorities were called for some legal stuff.
I said, you're supposed to offer me the extra McRib for $1 when you buy the McRib meal. You ain't gonna believe it. She looked me up and down, and she said, well, it don't look like you need the extra McRib. Excuse me? I throw punched that I knocked her down. So if you come to the McDonald's and you see a lady named Charlene in there, tell her Carla sent you. And then you throw punch her or punch her in the I don't give a This is against my civil rights.
Great moments in McRib history.
Okay, wow. Post Malone, huge star in the music industry, covered Jason Aldean's Amarillo Sky, one of my favorites. That's his first album, I think. During Dick Clark's New Year's Eve Rockin' Eve, we like to play covers on this song. Tell me what you think of Post Malone covering a classic from Jason Aldean, Amarillo Sky.
I think it's all
Are
right.
you okay with this? Post Malone covering Jason Aldean.
Yeah, I'm good with this. Again, Allison, jump in the mix here. You are a probably bigger country music fan than anybody in this room here. This cover, do it justice?
I think it does. Despite what a lot of people say, I think Posty does really well in country.
Posty?
Posty. We're on a first-name basis.
I love the fact that I think the last time Post Malone came to concert in Indy, now he wasn't doing his country set. He was doing like his hip-hop set, but he went to some random Olive Garden and got a picture with like the staff and like it was some old lady, but like I guess he tipped them all really well. I love it hearing those types of stories.
Well, and he's a country music guy, too. I mean, that's not how he started, obviously, but he's paired up with Blake Shelton and Morgan Wallen, obviously. I Had Some Help, that song, huge song. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not unprecedented that he's going to do a country song.
So, speaking of covers, I've got one for you, Nige.
Okay.
We've heard the song Landslide, right? Stevie Nicks on the vocals, just, very popular. You hear it in movies a lot, all over radio. Landslide, one of the biggest hits. Thanks to our friends at There I Ruined It, what if that song were about actual landslides, like rocks and mud and boulders and all of that stuff falling down a mountain?
Well, I've been afraid of landslides 'cause the ground falls down around you.
It's about landslides.
There's rocks and there's boulders. Children take cover. I've taken cover too.
That was great.
I see those rocks coming down. I climb the mountain, but I'm turning round.
It's my favorite part.
And if they find my dead body in the mud-covered hill, then the landslide took me down.
How did you find that?
That's Landslide if it were actually about landslides.
All right. I can't believe I fell asleep for this game last night. There was quite an ending last night, Sunday Night Football, after Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown pass late in the fourth quarter against the Ravens. Put the Steelers up 26-24. But Baltimore completed a big pass, got them the field goal range with 2 seconds on the clock. Hammer, here's the final call.
Tyler Luke, he now has a chance to win the division for the Ravens. The final play of the regular season for the final spot in the playoffs. Tyler Luke from 44.
Shanked it.
Man, you Vander-chatted it.
Yeah.
Are you okay with what happened there?
Yeah, because I had money on the Steelers. I was financially vested to the Steelers, and the Steelers kicker had missed an extra point on that final Aaron Rodgers touchdown. So the feeling was, oh my God, that's going to cost the Steelers, because the Ravens got back down into field goal range, but then their kicker shanked it.
And the last playoff spot was on the line, right?
Yes. Whoever won that game won the division, and the loser goes home.
Wow.
So the Ravens are going home now. And you know why? Because they chose to cut Justin Tucker in the offseason. Now, if you remember, Justin Tucker, one of the great kickers of all time, but he liked to go to the massage parlor. And unlike some other folks, though, it sounded like everything was consensual.
Sure.
Like he provided some big money for happy services that came his way. And the Ravens were like, that's not what we do here, even though this is the same team that had Ray Lewis as part of their the face of their program for years. I think they got a statue of Ray Lewis out there who was an accomplice in a murder. But they cut Justin Tucker because he was getting happies at the massage parlor.
Happies.
And the guy they brought in shanked and missed it. So if you're a Ravens fan, would you rather have your kicker having consensual things happen,
happies,
business transactions, right, take place, or some goody Boy Scout here that shanks it into the bathroom?
That's brutal. No, I want the guy that gets the happies.
Yes, Bring the happies on. Justin Tucker would have hit that last night. There's no doubt in my mind Justin Tucker would have hit that last night, then hit the massage parlor afterwards. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hi, my name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March of 27 and seen Mark. My best friend came with me. We both went to it, and neither one of us smoked a cigarette in almost 7.5 months. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend, and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a Mark Patrick seminar, the Stop Smoking, and it worked. A friend of mine also went, and he still no longer smokes, and it was just amazing.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed. Only $59.99. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Stop the cravings and stop smoking for good. Stop Smoking Hypnosis begins at 8 p.m. on Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville, or at 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up today at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Pat Sullivan here. Fire emergency? I've had one. If you do, call Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis explains why.
Michaelis is local and family owned. 39 years of experience with 24/7, 365 response. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified, restoring your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
And Michaelis helps you through the insurance process, giving you peace of mind. Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
It's not just cancer care, it's the complete care you get at Hendricks.
And you can feel that spirit of excellence, trying to do what's best from a medical standpoint, but also trying to affect the patient and their family as you would a family member.
Hendricks Care is trying to meet the patient where they are. You know your body better than anyone else.
Do the cancer screening early.
An ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure.
Learn about health screenings at hendricks.org/cancer.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit goodrx.com to save today.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Contact Mount Valley Foundation Services, the foundation repair experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at fixmyfoundation.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 60% off plus 24 months, same as cash with 0% interest.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
Celebrate in red, white, and blue with Hammer and Nigel at Woodland Bowl January 16th. They're live at 3 and bowling kicks off at 6:30. Go to WIBC.com for your chance to win tickets to the sold-out Red, White, and Bowl presented by Jack Daniels and benefiting the Bowlers to Veterans link.
Yeah, our charity bowling event, Red, White, and Bowl, presented by Jack Daniels. Earlier today, 4 tickets became available for purchase. Now, they may already be sold out.
Gotta be.
But if you want to check WIBC.com, the events area, look for our charity bowling event. See if you can scoop a pair up. If not, sign up for that contest page and maybe you can win a pair. Mike Priest, you much of a bowler?
I am a bowler. I'm certainly not a good bowler.
Okay.
But I enjoy the sport.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Yeah, I like to drink beer and have the pizza and the shenanigans. Yeah, that's kind of my type of bowling.
Well, the trick is you have to get like right in the slot with it, because 2 beers, suddenly I can break 100. 3 beers, 40.
There's a cutoff to where performance is based. Yes,
exactly. That's why they do testing.
What's up, man?
All right, well, we have a couple new crashes to report. One downtown at Washington in Pennsylvania. Also crashed in the northbound lanes of Binford Boulevard at 65th Street. On the interstates, traffic volumes easing off. 65 now only has delays southbound through the downtown collector. Everything north and south of it looks good, and northbound 65 is fine. Eastbound on 70 backed up out of the north split to Keystone. 465 on the north side, slow pockets east from 865 to Meridian and Keystone to Allisonville. Traffic is sponsored by B Window. Right now at B Window, receive up to 60% off plus 24 months, same as cash with 0% interest. Call or visit bwindow.com today, because at B Window, they mean business. I'm Mike Priest. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We just need 6 more people to give us a like, to give us a thumbs up on the WIBC YouTube stream. That gets us to 150. We are off and rolling.
Okay.
We are fishing with dynamite on a Monday.
Wow.
We are starting the year off huge. So we need 6 people, 6 awesome, badass Americans who are happy that Maduro was captured from his bed in the middle of the night. 6 badass people who are tired of everybody saying, free Maduro, but also no kings. Screw them. If you feel like we do, get to the WIBC YouTube page, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and help us get to 150. It's 42 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Yeah.
How old do you think Jennifer Lopez is?
She's got to be in her mid-50s?
56.
Okay, so
56.
That's mid. That's still mid.
I feel like
upper.
It's a fair assessment. If I may speak on your behalf, she still got it. She's an attractive woman, right?
It's that junk in the trunk.
That's what it is, man. It's that cake in the back. People have been trolling her, though, saying things online like she's too old to dress that way. You shouldn't dress that way. You're 56 years old. Well, she did a concert this past weekend, took to the microphone to address some of the trolling, and basically said what you said, Nige, quote, if you had this booty, you'd be naked too.
But it was funny. I do laugh at some of the things sometimes because they do say funny things too. Why she always dress that way? Why she dresses that way? Why don't she dress her age? I was like, huh? Why she always naked? And I said, if you had this booty, you'd be naked too.
I'm not mad at that at all. If you had this booty, you'd be naked too. Real quick before we get out of here, little reminder that Coach's Tavern, this upcoming Friday, just announced earlier today, we're going to be doing our full show down there as like a IU pregame, Nige.
Yeah, tailgate, sure.
Tailgate, man. Now, we're going to be talking about the news of the day. We'll do the usual Hammer and Nigel show. But if you're an IU fan and you're looking for a place to watch the big IU-Oregon game, get your rear ends downtown. We want to see you at 3 o'clock when our show starts. I want that joint rocking and rolling with Hamroids, Nigerians, and Alice holes when we crack the mics at 3 o'clock this Friday. So please come on down and join us and get to the contest page of WIBC.com. Register to win tickets for our, what I believe to be sold out, Red, White, and Bowl event presented by Jack Daniels. I know 4 tickets became available earlier today. They might be gone, but if you want them, check out the events page at WIBC.com. One more hour of the big show is coming up. Do not go anywhere. We're rolling on a Monday. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, dudes, I know you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Now you can take the test for free at Synergen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
All right, guys, it's go time. It's a brand new year. It's time to take care of yourselves. Get in right now for a free TRT test at Synergen X and the Low T Center. No appointment necessary if you get there before 10 a.m. or you could just book ahead at fixmylowt.com. You're going to wish you had done this sooner. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have a little uptick in the